sharpening my feathers.
Recharge keeps Lucian free.
I must not fall.
If I want your opinion, I'll beat it out of you.
I am forsaken.
Hello, everyone. We are getting started here with this game 1. This is Ragnarok Hell versus
The Flash!
Oh my gosh, that's gonna be a flash going in, grabbing that hook, getting the stuns up, and that is gonna be a kill for this Nautilus mid lane.
Hey, good start for them as well. They went with the corrupting potion as well. Now, they got seen on a ward, I thought, into the mid lane. I thought Dogwater happened it. They ended up catching out Ice Queen here, so extra gold on this Nautilus pick will be quite nice. Just any tankiness on this champion is going to be good. And this Flash is still going to be punished. It doesn't look like he has Hex Flash at all, but it looks like Soda does. So that Flash being down isn't going to be as much of a deal.
This is just gonna be a Ripper putting in a lot of damage here to this Silas. Wow.
Silas not going to be able to heal it back as much until he gets his abilities up because not all of them end up healing here. He's still going to be chained down to that health pool right now.
So looking across the board, do we see any interesting summoners or keystones that we want to talk about here?
I think it's going to be important to highlight that Dogwater does go for first strike here, trying to get that extra money. Is planning to stay safe behind these minions, and we're seeing the cleanse coming out of Struck.
That was a very nice hook, bringing Ice Queen down to half health.
Ice Queen went with the summon area, just trying to get some extra poke in here, like we're seeing to the top side as well. Grasp, they're trying to stay extra healthy here as well. So I think it's pretty standard for the most part, except for maybe the mid lane first strike. I don't think that's necessarily what they would pick. Oh,
that's hook 2 for 2. That's going to be Ignite. Shodoroki is going to be getting the second pickup of the game.
Excellent hook there that really set things up. But on top of that, that level 2 power spike, being able to know exactly where they are, as Kai'Sa's W is a 20-second cooldown and applies 2 stacks. It, bam, pops people if you catch them. That's going to make things a little bit more difficult for Jello.
Yeah, that... Right now, like, obviously... at least the support was the one to eat the hooks, and Jello wasn't the one to eat it, so I think that's going to be a little bit of a W for them. Ooh, that's going to be a nice dredge line, getting the pull away, buffering through. Will they be able to get the pickup here? He's quite low. They don't have Ignite. They can't throw it on him. And Jedi is going to be walking away with a sliver of health.
Yeah, Ripper did throw an Ignite onto them as well. Hold on.
Oh, that was a nice dredge line. Fu's going to be missing the hook over the wall. Speaking of hooks...
Yeah, they have to be very careful here into the bot lane as the wave's being pushed up. And with some of these HP bars being as low as they are, we're able to push things in. Oh, the top lane, though. Hitting those vitals, getting them a kill for hell. Exactly what you want on your Fiora.
Number one thing for Ornn, sometimes you have to fight that just natural instinct to just instantly bonk that brittle proc. Because it's guaranteed CC, so it's like when you're up against like the Jax, Fiora matchups, like you know it's coming, you know they can punish that. You have to be able to play with. Ooh, you're gonna be missing the pull's gonna be coming through the dash. It's gonna be allowing her to dodge through that.
Yeah, and just understanding how the vital procs are gonna rotate as well really does inform how your trading is gonna go. If it's a good trade or bad trade as well, because if they end up healing out of it and you don't, that's not gonna be very good. Even if you end up getting a brittle proc. That vital proc will just get worse and worse as she stacks more and more AD.
Ooh, okay, did fight that urge. So very good on that one.
Oh,
yeah, but these vital procs are just going to be out healing him.
Yeah, this slow push is going to be quite dangerous for Jello. But oh my gosh, the top lane. Both of them are low, fighting the wave. Very dangerous here. So really has to back off. Though looks like they're calling their jungler here, Verdant.
Uh-oh, that's going to be Jedi coming in from the sidelines. Will he be getting the pickup? He will be getting that with the Q.
That was well played by them. Ended up costing them their flash here, but no teleport on them. And that XP is so important for Bobby Boy here, as you need that gold for the ornaments, or the XP, I should say.
Yeah, XP really for Ornn is one of his greatest resources. Okay, time is necessary for it, but just being in that lane and just allows for it. It really allows your team to scale more efficiently into the game. I think Jinx hard outscales Kai'Sa, and that would
Yes.
allow her to get like continue to have a little bit more staying power if she's able to get the oh geez,
Kaisa's mid game
the
is
Wormfall and
significantly
Sacrifice.
stronger. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's so much stronger. Her 2-item power spike is game changing. She needs a mythic plus a serrated dirk, and she will be able to evolve her Q in that time.
ooh, that's gonna be a nice dredge line. Gonna get the hook off. DJ's gonna be dashing on out of there. Gonna be sniffing out at Soda on the sidelines there.
Just knowing that the support isn't. Hold that
Ooh.
thought, though.
He still went off with the back. The ignite not going to be enough to burn dog water, but he's still low under the tower. Will we be seeing Ripper go all for nothing? He's going to be taking the tower shot. Jedi chasing him down. He's going to be getting away.
Yeah, just getting away. They're calling for the jungler. Very important there. That bounce back could be quite nice for Jack the Ripper here as well. And it looks like Gel is trying to get a nice reset here with the wave and bully things out, but they don't have any vision.
Right now, that's going to be Jello using the choppers to space him off. That's a flash coming through from Soda. Soda, they're turning it over onto Ice Queen. Ice Queen's going to be able to just walk on out. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. You would have thought that with the ghost coming out of Fu here, but that's not the case. There's still a lot of pressure. They did take some damage here, so they have to stand behind this minion wave. Otherwise, that hook could just change how this is going to go, and that's a lot of XP and gold.
There's
Just
the hook.
barely dodged it.
And the field goal is good, ladies and gentlemen.
Now, there is one thing I think we've kind of glanced over. A dragon was taken, an Infernal Dragon, so extra AD happening for PEA here, which is going to be quite nice for them. Extra damage is something that they might want, especially with tanks. You're not necessarily going to do it, and this will help inform Kaisa's mid game here. So, Key is going to be doing a little bit better than they would be otherwise, and getting closer to that Q evolve as well.
Yeah. Big thing to note, we were kind of talking about in an earlier portion that Fiora is going to be having a massive kind of XP lead and farm lead in this top lane, but bot
30.
lane, they really, they're also going to be putting in a lot of work here.
Oh.
Ooh, getting quite low. Dogwater's trying to get him down. We're seeing the fish bones come through, but now we're getting collapsed on. That's going to be Ripper missing the dredge line.
Yeah, and no Super Mega Death Rocket right now. They are not at level 6. I don't think they're that close either, if I go ahead and look. Oh, they are pretty close. That bar is just minutes away. And just percent missing health. If you're able to hit someone at the max Zapper's range when it's easier and do the most damage, they could potentially take out one bot laner here. But with the wave crashing in like this, it's super dangerous for them to walk up for this XP here. And it is a decent chunk of mana as well. Looking the minion. Get down.
Get down, Mr. President. Gonna be
Looks
just
like, though, Fu getting the second objective of this game.
Uh-oh, Jedi's in trouble. There's going to be a lot of knockups. Will he be able to get away? Pushing him away, and that's going to be Fu getting the pickup here. Egg going to be trading in this top side, but Bobby is going to be at a lot more health. Will be a little bit lacking on the mana. But in a long lane, Ornn could be in trouble.
Yeah, especially when Royal Egg has a Sheen as well. That's going to make things a little bit dangerous as well. Able to get a lot of procs off of it, use the autos, and has a nice little dash to go with it. Ripper, low in mana.
Yeah, you do not want a long... Actually, wait, no, that's not a... that is not a Conquer.
Yeah, it's a
So
first strike. That's why I was saying
Bobby's
at the
gonna
beginning
need
it was
to
a little
pick it.
interesting. Yeah, that Call of the Forge God really paid off quite well there. But hold that thought. The Ignite here,
W?
the dredge line.
Oh.
Yeah.
Nautilus going to be putting in the work here. Catalyst of Aeons just really giving him a lot of staying power in this lane.
Well, and the Corrupted Pots, right? That also really paid off with getting that early kill and just having an early boost there. And the Aeons is going to be good staying power for him as well. The Super Mega Death Rocket, we'll have to see if it connects. If it's able to hit someone here, which it didn't, they'll just be able to secure some of those caster minions so you get some more gold and XP here as well.
I think also another big difference in the mid lane is that Dogwater does not have Ignite. Like, win first strike because they want to go for some damage on the enemy champion and potentially go for a kill. And we are going to be, like, obviously, teleport's very good for making a lot of macro plays across the board. However, like, with first strike, you really sometimes want to pair that with Ignite.
Yeah, first strike means you're going to be more aggressive, at least in trading or just all in. You want to get that gold stacked up there, and Ignite is damage, right? And it helps you secure this and get some of these kills for that gold lead that you want. But if you're facing this many tanks, sometimes Sustain just wins it. That's why Swain is one of the best ultimates for Dogwater to be able to steal. Of course, he's not into this game right now, as we see a fight in the top side.
Ooh, these are a lot of vitals being procced here. Is Bobby going to be going down? He will be going down, giving another kill over to Fiora. There was a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel, but now I think this might start pushing it over to Fiora is just going to hard counter him.
Very, very close. 800 gold, that could be enough to get that Divine Sunderer, which is pretty good in this style of matchup here. On the flip side, though, second, or I should say third objective going to be taken here because of that earlier Rift Herald. Hex, Drake, really good. Those auto attack speeds here is good on Kaisa, although...
Queen's going to be playing very nicely on the wall, going to be forcing out the missed dredge line, but the wild growth coming through. Will Ice Queen be able to get out? That's going to be a flash coming through. Dredge line's going to be missing. That's going to be still another hook available. Ice Queen is still in trouble. Now we're going to be seeing DJ. DJ's hooked out, getting caught out. Bagfu is going to be picking up that kill.
Flash, heal, wild growth, super mega death rocket, all that. Well, the top lane fights things out. Right away, glowing mana.
Yeah.
Parry. Parry this, you casual.
Okay. Like, I understand that, hey, we lost the objective in the bot lane. We lost, what was it? We lost 2 people in the mid lane, and it just went very poorly here. There's a lot of stuff we could talk about, but I don't think the call and response answer from Hell should be trying to dive in Ornn under his tower.
Yeah, there's no... Oh, hold on now. Hold that thought. Hold that thought here. Gelatin. Getting a little low here. Okay, looks like going to be able to stay safe here. There's just no jungle to do. So there wasn't a whole lot to do top side. They just got out macroed here, and they needed to use this timer maybe just to get some gold on their characters that they haven't backed recently, or just understand and reassess things.
Ooh, that's going to be flash forced out of Dogwater. Right now, I think Nautilus is putting on a clinic in this mid lane.
Yeah, he's doing quite well here. We're seeing all those benefits that you were talking about earlier. The grand challenge in the top side.
Ooh, okay. I was going to say that Brittle is going to be really turning the tide, but Fiora is able to get that pickup onto him. I mean, right now, Sunder...
Yeah,
I was going to say Sunder is very, very strong.
Let's see here. Already has done 447 damage to champions and 320 healing. Pretty significant here.
That is disgusting.
Yep, plated steel caps trying to reduce any auto damage here as well. And isn't the brittle proc like an enhanced auto as well?
It is an enhanced auto.
Yeah.
Yep.
That really helps here. Another notable item here, because we've been talking about builds. It's going to be harder to run away from Fu here with the Rylai's Crystal Scepter here. And it's going to be even worse for you if you're trying to get away from this Nautilus here, as Abyssal Mask here is going to give you that unmake curse here, and you're going to be reducing the magic resist on them, making things a little bit easier to do with all this magic damage with Fu and Bobby and, well, the bot lane as well.
Yeah, right now, you need, like, a lot of your eggs were in the Jinx basket. Obviously, you're going to be having Fiora just absolutely dunk on an Ornn in the top lane. Okay, so should dunk on the Ornn in the top lane. So a lot of your focus should have been on helping your bot lane for them to succeed, or at least helping Silas, who then is then able to get roams to then make them succeed. But right now we have Jinx, who's very far behind just in CS alone.
Oh, hold that thought, though.
We are going to be twisting advance coming through. Yeah, Jedi's going to be getting that pickup. Or no rest of Wicked.
Though. His ultimate is up. The Death Realm is alive, trying to defend this tower. Minion Wave, though. Looks like they're going to be going for this Rift Herald here. It's going to be a lot more difficult for them to respond, although Ripper and Soda is going to be here for this 3v3. We'll have to see if they'll put their money where their mouth is with this hook one missing.
All right, we still have Dredge Line potentially coming through. That's going to be getting a nice grab. That's going to be Silas. DJ's getting quite low, getting knocked up. That's going to be Kaisa jumping in. Shodoroki getting low. That's a massive step down going over. But now Begfu coming back into this play. Egg getting quite low themselves. Going to be dashing out of the wall, getting away from this. This is going to be a flash coming through from Jack. Jack's immediately knocked back over the
Double?
wall. This is double kill going
The
over to
hook?
Bagfu. That's going to be a nice hook. That's going to be grabbing
The
Ice Queen. That's a
grab, the
triple for the God of Death.
Yeah, it was not looking super great here as they had their AD carry, who's ahead right now with their Kraken Slayer. I think they just had to get up this objective here. So PEA understood this, took it, and I do like that Jello stayed bot lane here, just trying to get some extra gold for their composition as well. Getting this wave under, trying to maybe get a mythic here or set them up for a dragon, which is going to be up in 30 seconds. Soul Point's going to be a little bit more important here. A second Rift Herald, not as strong typically, because you're not going to get plates off of it unless you can really get the gas pedal down to the floor and really push things, which they might be able to do. Fu is 5-0 right now.
Yeah, I mean, just getting that triple kill, that's going to be massive for him. He is going to be going for Jack Show, the protein. But big portion of that, you mentioned Vision. They have one ward over by Rift Herald. Like, they had one in Pixel Brush, but like it already was on like the verge of like wearing out. So like Vision just really just dictated how that fight went. And obviously, as we saw, it went quite poorly. But now we have a lot of Vision already set up for this dragon well and prior to this. So I think this could just be an easy collapse.
Yeah, the control ward bought by PEA is so good. That's like, we saw that hook was possible because of that ward, forcing the flash. The dredge line, of course, missed.
Oh, Shadowroki's in trouble. Gonna get caught out. A lot of CC coming through. Jello's gonna be getting picked up. Is excited. Soda getting quite low. That's gonna be him going down. Jedi getting that pickup.
Ghost.
Bagfu all by himself. He will be using the ultimate here. It's him versus Jedi. Will he be able to get this pickup before? Okay, he will come out with this. He didn't get the stats. But Jack's. Wow, that's going to be a massive shutdown going over to Silas. This might give him a little bit of the lifeblood he needed. That's going to be Royal Egg going down in the top lane. It kills left, right, and center. It's just at Dog Water and Jello going for this Drake now. But they will have Jack coming in from the sidelines.
Yeah, they're going to be trying to go for it here. A lot of this was they weren't able to get into Gelatin here, and they weren't able to get into Ice Queen. But with this resets, 3v2.
They're 100% losing this. Yeah, that's just going to be Jello going down immediately. Rippers on a rampage.
I will take overextending for 500, please.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, I understand the want to say, hey, we want a team fight. We're right at the objective. Let's take it here. But with Jinx being so far behind here, Jello, you're just not able to do that right now. So Soul Point for the tank team, and you really love that Ocean Soul. You're going to get a lot of benefit out of it. Just the tank stats, as it's a percent health and mana here, just being able to stay alive. And since these champions are very hungry here, Soda, it's like a quarter of your mana level 1. Of course, you have more, and the abilities have changed in their mana costs, but still, those hooks take up a lot of mana as there's a lot of power behind them, and just getting that mana regen for free is quite potent, as you're very limited for gold in a support role.
So an interesting thing to take note of in the top side of the map, we have a Warmogs on Ornn. Going to be trying to just play for taking a massive amount of poke here in the top lane. I would have maybe, I definitely understand the value of Warmogs. You're then able to just get the healing passive immediately just with the Forge God passive, or the Living Forge passive. But I think that you maybe wanted to splash a Bramble Vest in there just at some point, just to kind of cancel out on a lot of just the free vital healing that Fiora gets.
Yeah, that, or just trying to stop some of those autos as well if possible. Warren's Mail, I've seen that work out quite well for some top laners as well. Maybe that would have worked a little bit better if it was a Mel fight.
Yeah,
but
It counteracts the healing from obviously the vitals. It gets rid of it from the grasp. It now would get rid of it of the vamp scepter, but also the divine thunder. So it's just like you're cutting out on 4 separate procs of healing, effectively every 4 seconds. So I think that just being able to just kind of mitigate that would have been pretty strong. But for the most part, has definitely died a few times, but is still very much weathering the storm. He's getting his levels slowly but surely. Is 2 levels down, but I think it's still going to be quite prevalent in this game, as Ornn almost always is. Very steady laner.
Yeah, 3v1 here. Very difficult for them.
Ooh, knock up into knock up, and Egg is obliterated, cracked upon the ground.
Yeah, very difficult to deal with that. You have to repulse the first one, and then if there's follow-up perfectly timed, it makes things a little bit more difficult here. Beefy Boys in the bot lane with the Rella versus the Curse, the Abyssal Mask there.
I'm gonna put my money on the Abyssal Mask, like Aegis of Legion Nautilus every time.
Oh, yeah. Especially when you have extra resistances coming from Aftershock as well. Just so much value to try and prevent a lot of this damage from happening, as we're seeing Jedi losing some of his jungle here. So much vision is being created by Jack the Ripper. It's been astounding. And their AD carry here has also been putting out a lot of work with Fu, their jungler, has really enabled stuff. Of course, boy, not putting out the works for as much vision here with a vision score of 4 at this stage in the game, 21 minutes, almost 22. But they hasn't necessarily needed that much more vision. Their team has just been able to play wherever. And if you're constantly shoved under tower, where are you going to place the ward anyways, I suppose?
Yeah. I mean, they definitely gave I mean, you could place it around like wraps. You could place it in some ways just so you know you're not getting invaded. But definitely gave a lot of vision in some of these earlier portions of the fountain. So
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
oh yeah, I'm like she can't repost on her tower, but she is going to be taking that. That's going to be
the
Shodoroki
challenge.
going in for the dive. Will Egg be able to get the pickup? Is going to be getting the kills there. That is a few flashes expended. Todoroki going to be using theirs up.
Yeah, Royal Egg not able to get the flash combo though. That's one of the few cases where it would have been helpful because of the healing from the Grandmaster challenge. Once you proc all of those as well, you don't have to necessarily get the kill. But Gaze of Baron's going to reduce a lot of these resistances here. There's a chance for them to pick up some gold here.
All right, there's going to be Twisting Advance coming through. Jack the Ripper eating all of this damage, not caring whatsoever. Going to be knocking Jello up. Yeah, the Wild Growth coming through. This is just too much to handle. Now Jedi is just going to get caught up in the blender that is their team. Going to get grabbed by the Blitzcrank. Will he be getting away? Get over here. That's going to be TP coming through. DJ having to flash out. Jedi going to be jumping back in through.
Knock up super low in mana.
Wow. We are tanky boys and girls on both sides.
AD carries dying on both sides here. Delay in the game tends to favor the scaling champion here, but with the 2-item power spike coming out with the Kraken and to Navori's here, that's going to make things a little bit more difficult to deal with. And those so important teleports means they can't split to the top side here for this dragon fight. It's really, really important that this gets taken by Hell, because if they do not end up taking it, that is bad news.
That's going to be a nice hook onto Ice Queen. That is going to be a very low mana Soda there, getting away from Dogwater. We're going to get some damage, but that's going to be Silas stealing the Death Realm. That's going to be Egg under tower. Will he be going down? Will not. It's going to be Super Mega Death Rocket missing, but that's going to be Free Dragon going over to the side of Hell.
That is so nice for Hell. They really needed this W here. Now, it looks like PEA has had a pretty strong grasp of this, and I think it's just because of their macro here, but if you look at the gold difference, it's only 2,000-3,000. It's very winnable for either team here. That's a Baron swing in its own here. I don't think they'll be able to necessarily take it at this stage, but maybe they let PEA take it, and they do a swing afterwards when all their damage is down, because they want to be objective, plus the Baron's Gaze, I think could be a very good setup for them as well. They do need to recognize how these waves are going to be pushed here. And just trying to get some more gold here. It's going to be very difficult to deal with Royal Egg with their new mythic, or not mythic, I should say, their second item.
Yeah, I mean, again, we are now going to just see another proc of healing. So I think that we are going to have to start sailing some heal cut from the side of PSA, or they could potentially be in a world of hurt.
Especially if this cloth armor turns into a death stance at all.
Yeah, I think it is. I'm like, I don't even think it's going to be a shot in the dark. Because, like, what else do you do with it? Sunfire Aegis? But, like, you're not going to throw Sunfire Aegis on a Fjord. I mean, you can, but you shouldn't.
Both teams really do need some healing here as well, in my opinion. Just because if you look at Jack the Ripper's mythic here, Radiant Virtue, that's going to be a lot of healing here. Mordekaiser, Fu's going to have some healing here. And then you see onto the top side, there's going to be some healing there as well. Not just from the Warmogs, but through his kit, the Grasp, and everything else. That'll really help. get them. You have to chew through these tanks so you can get to the damage. You can't always dive them.
So an important thing to kind of take note, right now they really want to set up for this Baron, but they're taking a lot of time of just like standing there, not really doing a lot of stuff actively. So PSA is just giving time over to Ragnarok to really just kind of get a lot of farm, go different places, and just pick it up.
They certainly are. They were trying to get that mid wave crash, which I think is quite smart for them.
Yeah,
But they have the mid and top side crash here. They have the vision here. There's no reason for them to necessarily back here. They can just take the Baron for the extra gold. It does look like they think some team fight potential is going to be happening here. The third item is being picked up by Shiruki, which is going to be quite important. They should have their E evolved, so that's going to be invisibility here as well. And Ripper also going to reduce some of these auto attacks coming out of Jinx as well with the Warden's Mail.
Yeah, I was curious to see if he put it towards the. Ooh, we're gonna be doing Egg and Bobby gonna be going after it. Grand Challenge coming through. She's getting a lot of these dashes. We're about to get all the procs. That's gonna be yeah, Riposte coming through. Kind of getting the slow, but that is going to be Egg getting the pickup in the bot lane. I think that is going to be a dead bot lane tower. She does have TP up here quite shortly if things start to look dire.
No ultimate, though, to go in after this. There we go. It's down.
Twisting Advance coming through. Jedi going to be looking for a potential steal. You still have Bag.
Rocket already going in early.
Okay, that's going to be Bag getting the pickup here, but that's going to be an excited Jinx putting in a lot of damage. Egg TP'd in. Shodoroki in trouble. A lot of damage coming through. He's going to be going down. There's a double kill over onto Jinx. Jello going to be just crushing through Bagfu, trying to get away to the best he can. He's getting slowed into oblivion. Will this be a triple kill for her? No, okay, that's going to be going over to Egg. Now it's just Jack all by himself. Going to be trying to get away from this play. Will he get locked down into oblivion? He's going to be missing the dredge line. They're diving to him under tower. There's going to be Ignite coming through. DJ in trouble. That's going to be pickup for Jack. Now it's Egg versus Jack. You do have Bobby coming in on the sidelines, and they're going to be letting that go.
Yeah, diving in Nautilus there, quite dangerous, especially when they have gold to back up that champion here as well. Something I do want to highlight here. Ornament unlocked here onto the top side. Although, hold up, Jack the Ripper is getting some bullets. Yeah, the Leviathan. Yeah. At this stage, not even he got the first stack right now. 28 minutes into the game here. Oh, not quite getting Jack.
No.
No,
that was quite close.
Online right now. Dragon up 45 seconds. This is Soul for PEA. Should be able to get it here. They do have one source of Baron buff right now, which is going to be good for them as well.
Soda got that. That's
funny. That was pretty cheesy.
But Heartsteel, ooh.
Mm-hmm. I thought that was a little interesting. You would think protein, Jack shows their
27 like 27:48
yeah, per scale
on your Heartsteel timer. Scale. No, you go Jack show.
Yeah, I would agree here.
Yeah, because you're not gonna be a potential splitting threat with Ornn at this point. Fiora is just too big.
Also, Egg is true damage, percent max health, true damage.
Correct. Yeah, it's percentage true damage, isn't it?
Yeah, it's percent. Scaling with your AD.
It's if anything, you'd want to maybe go Anathemas. Obviously, true damage just goes through the reduction for that, but then you can at least increase the CC for your team. You could do Everfrost, which actually does a reduction. There's some options there. Or just, hey, another Radiant Virtue.
Yeah.
But right now, Jedi is going to be Twisting Advance coming through. They're looking to dive into this backline. Shodoroki is going to be playing for the back side. That's going to be called the Forge God missed. Shodoroki trying to get a lot of this damage. Jedi going to be going down. Right now, Shodoroki still playing it in the backside. Jedi Egg jumping into the backside of the team is not going to be getting the pickup. Jello is still alive, going to be taking down Dogwater all by himself. Will this be the full ace? That's going to be a nice hook from Jack the Ripper. That's going to be 4 still alive.
Yeah, one of the key factors here is Super Mega Death Rocket has been used super early. And one of the bad things about this is it's missing health damage. It's an execute, so using it super early could have really changed this. Some of these champions were super low. Shiruski obviously looks a little bit healthier now, but they also have a Vampiric Scepter here, and if they have Triumph at all with all of these kills happening and assists happening, that HP bar would look very different, which could have changed this fight in itself here. Soul unlocked, just so much action here. You have to keep in mind, Fu has dot damage, which is constantly going to be re-updating this as well for him, which is just wonderful for him.
Yeah, another thing to also know, like you're talking about Jinx versus Kaisa, there's a flame horizon. Like,
Yeah.
items are just going to be obviously vastly different, and Chodoroki is just going to have a lot more impact at this point. You are going to be obviously adding the attack speed augmentation with Lulu, but Ice Queen died fairly early on in that play. Did get I don't know if the wild growth went off. I don't know if I recall seeing it.
It's up right now, but the ultimate cooldowns are a lot shorter. They've just been caught out so much; it's made things super awkward for Jello here. They've been playing a lot of the stuff out quite well. I mentioned the ultimate here as well, that they've been using it pretty early. But other than that, in their laning phase, they weren't the ones getting hooked here. They were recognized, they needed to stand back, and it was just Ice Queen making things into 2v1s, which made things so hard for their scaling composition.
So right now, looking across the board, you have Leviathan. You have there's going to be Twisting Advance coming through. Jack Ripper could be looking at his first death of the game. There's going to be a massive amount of gold. Called the Forge God coming through. That's going to be getting a single knockup at this point, but Jello caught out. That's going to be Jedi grabbed, eviscerated by their entire team.
It was a 5v3 for the most part. The Death Rocket came through, but Silas, their dog water, was into the bot lane here. So there was no reason to try and do that extended trade or poke here in case something collapses. The vision score has been vastly different here. I will say Ice Queen has the highest vision score in the game right now if I do a quick scan, which is very good news for them. But if you die to get that vision here as well, that isn't particularly great. It's a little bit misleading in that regard here. We'll have to see if Soda ends up getting it again here. I don't think they did.
So an important thing kind of an interesting thing, obviously we have Leviathan on Ornn because it automatically goes through. We have Primordial Dawn on to Jack. We have Wormfall and Sacrifice onto the Kaisa. And we got the Equinox on Blitzcrank. We did not go for the Unspoken Parasite for Begfu.
He doesn't need it.
I mean, yeah. I mean, like, he's massive. But I kind of find it funny that you opted for the Equinox versus the Unspoken Parasite.
Yeah, and it just could have been like how these teams have been walking together as well. He was already
yeah. Oh, hey, you're around me. Here you go. Like, yeah. I'm not gonna try to like track down the Mord.
Yeah, and this level lead that Royal Egg had is gone now. Right, they're the same level as well. They even went with the QSS right now, the Quicksilver Sash, to try and stop some of this CC so they can carry. Because they are a lot of the damage right now, and a lot of their gold.
Uh-oh, right now that's going to be Soda getting caught out here. Ooh, it's going to be outrunning that Twisting Advance, but that's going to be Call the Forge God coming through. They're trying to collapse on this team. Jello getting knocked up. Will they be able to get the kill? That's going to be Chodoroki getting the kill on a Rampage. Going to be ripping through a lot of this damage. Double kill for her. She's diving into the back line. She's going in for Jedi. Bobby's going to be picking up dog water. Jedi in trouble.
That's an ace.
It's going to be triple kill and a full ace. That could be game.
It looks like they're going to go for Baron here. They just have the manpower for it as well. And that can reset into things. I'm surprised they didn't go for the classic inhib play. Or they're splitting up here. The classic splitting or Nautilus wombo combo here. They just have so much damage with their jungler and AD carry here that those two can move on, get the Baron buff there as well. I don't know if this Soda ended up getting it. Soda does not have it. They did not wait for him at all. They just want these towers pushed out here as well. The Rocket Wave player. Things are not looking good into game one. The favored by me into this. It's not quite over yet, but with the gold lead pushing 10,000 gold here, I think Hell is really going to have to adapt into game two for this series to try and take this one out. I think part of the formula here is either Ice Queen being on a less squishy champion, one that can take a hook, might be something to go for, or that Jello has a more active AD carry that can really control the lane versus someone who's a little bit more passive and scaling like Jinx.
Yeah, I think so. A potential like new slot in for Ice Queen would maybe be like Morgana. Like how you saw it picked out, it was Jinx into Mordekaiser into Blitzcrank. So like you already knew what was up. yeah, you have an easy grab of Morgana with the Black Shield, which then obviously you need to have a little bit. You need to have some decent reaction timers, so you can do that. You could do Karma, like yeah, you had some options there. But then
I
also
think the main issue is positioning here. So if you try and go
correct, yeah,
both,
yeah, correct,
you're more likely to stand out. So I think you just need a big tanky stat on Ice Queen here to adapt in this game.
yeah. I mean, okay. The other thing that needs to be done is you have this massive, massive lead on Royal Egg. Why did we start team fighting? Like,
Yeah,
why not just go cram towers in the sideline?
yeah.
Like
There's a
like
lot of collapses on Royal Egg, so I think they were just trying to adapt into a team fight and use that lead to get some picks here. But this script has flipped.
yeah. Yeah, I was gonna say like she did get 1v3, but then it's just like okay, if I get 1v3, you guys shove. Like you gotta start playing a little bit of that rope a dope, but we obviously have not seen that at this point. So
Yeah,
I think we need to either A, play to our win cons more effectively on Ragnarok, or we need to eh,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
play to the win cons, or then be a little bit better at macro. They gave up a lot of stuff in the early game.
The moral of the story is don't do a 1-4 comp and go for a team fight strategy.
Yeah,
Yeah, because
effectively.
there's no way that Hell's gonna be able to snipe this Elder Dragon right here, and that is two of the strongest buffs in the game right now. Baron and Elder right now. They are temporary buffs, and not something permanent like a soul, but they also have soul. It's not Hex Soul for the 3 highest, but Ocean is still pretty darn good right now. Jack the Ripper, I know we kind of questioned this composition in the pick here with the double hook champions, but we gotta say it's paying dividends here. And Jack never ended up dying at all with that early invade.
Oh, that's gonna be a nice grab. Yeah, he's going down. Bobby's gonna be getting that pickup. I mean, hey,
Gosh darn it, Bobby.
the sub one like the sub 1 minute kill onto Nautilus really just set a precedent for the lane altogether. So it just Nautilus then just was in the driver's seat for the mid lane. Like at first is going to be a little bit of a contest, but then Dogwater, I think, as we kind of aforementioned,
Yeah.
first strike, what? Like, I feel like for first strike was just a massive blunder.
I don't think first strike is the play there. Imagine if they just had some more HP to play with for Conqueror, and they would have been able to scale a little bit more damage. It's
Yeah.
very difficult to get some of these procs here, just because of how this is going to be able to go. The CC, he's got some decent range with his hook, can disengage as well, so that does make things a little bit more difficult on that side of things.
Also, Nautilus is probably going to be taking down your first strike almost every single time with E alone.
Yeah,
And
and
like
your CC too long to get it back. That like quarter-second window you have.
I'm like the only time you have that kind of potential opening is if you're in a wide open free lane and you have like an option to do that. But for the most part, you're going to be having minions around you in the mid lane, so it's quite unlikely to get that off without just Nautilus being able to just press E. But
Yeah.
all right.
All right.
Well, we are going to be getting ready for draft for game 2. Don't go anywhere. We shall see you shortly in the draft.
just because it's easier for you to like hit it and then talk. Unless you're not
Hello,
ready.
everyone. We are back with the draft for game 2. We're getting right into it. We aren't swapping sides at all, but hell, we are going to see if they are going to be changing up their draft strategy.
I'm guessing they will. Royal Egg right now, who's the top laner, the Fiora, who did excellent. There is now going to be the mid laner here. Dogwater is out, and Villain Water is into the top side here.
So they're going to be getting rid of this Azaya again. I'm curious as to are they going to throw all these bot lane bans out again, or are they going to? Because last time we saw Zaya, are they going to be looking at Leona here, or are we going to be getting rid of the Blitzcrank? Because we saw a very, very vulnerable Ice Queen.
Yeah.
Okay, so they're still going to be sticking with the Varus here.
Very potent here. No Castlewin into the mid lane here. Perhaps that's what Royal Egg ends up playing. The Vi here for the engage. I think engage jungle just makes a lot of sense. So stopping some of the stronger ones here. Maybe instead of the Maokai that they had, maybe they'll go for a Jarvan this game, who's been pretty good with the AD junglers. I think they're still fairly strong. Wukong also on the table if they play that as well.
Okay. Yeah, Wukong's still fairly strong. Okay, yeah, this time they're going to be we don't care about Leona as much as how potent that Blitzcrank was. And I think that is a smart that's a smart switch.
Yeah, and Leona comes to you as well. So if you end up going for the Jinx pick you did early on, you can just put the traps on them. It takes a second for it to arm as well, but Leona's animation also takes a second as well. So that is a good response back here. Seraphine also was banned here, so the Enchanters here. The priority pick for how I still think they're going to priority pick an AD carry here. They could still go for
Thresh would be a good one.
Yeah, they could go for Thresh. They could go for Thresh as well. I think they're just going to take either Jinx or some like other active AD carry here.
Okay.
They end up going for Syndra. Something different. Something else that can be quite helpful here as well. Royal Egg has been a target of a lot of bans here, so if the mid lane pool is smaller, this also makes sense. Syndra really helps round out comp, so it doesn't necessarily show what hell it's going to be going for, making it harder to counter their first pick.
Also, Syndra definitely does have counter matchups, but for the most part, Syndra is just very consistent. If she plays it very slow, methodical, give up a few CS here or there, that's fine. But you're then able to effectively scale into that late game and then blow up some of these champions across the board. They're going to be picking up the Sivir on the side of PSA. I'm curious as to what support they're going to be putting with it, because Sivir, obviously, you have a bit of hyperscaling in the game, but you still have the utility of the fleet of foot.
Nautilus could still be pretty good here. Anything that benefits a lot for movement speed. Galio, pretty good. I was thinking Braum also could be kind of spicy as well.
I think Galio is a smart pickup to go against Syndra. Obviously, he's going to get a little bit bullied in some of those super early levels, but then from that point on, it's going to be starting to really being able to weather the storm from Syndra.
Yeah, level 3 plus Ignite could result in a kill depending on how things line up here. Especially if he's able to get any sort of Q poke and get some of those caster minions. He's going to suffer a little bit in some of this HP department. In the mana department, he's a little bit hungry. But there's that Wukong pickup that I was considering as well.
Yeah, Wukong still 80 junglers, right, or kind of 80 dive junglers just really provide great setup. Obviously, we saw the vibe band, but J4 still quite potent. Wasn't as cracked as he was in like 13.7 or 13.8, but still quite strong. But we're going to be getting Rakan to go with the Wukong Cyclone into the quickness, an absolutely disruptive combo.
Yeah, down with the quickness. Oh, wow. Although
flawless. I love it.
Yeah, flawless. You can tell I listened to all of the metal.
Yes.
So Zaya is banned, so Rakan might be a little lonely without his little waifu to go with it. Just like the Samumu, who's also going to be kind of sad as well. Just wants another friend. a lot of engage and movement speed benefits coming out of PSA, who's been able to utilize their, I would say, superior macro based on that first game. That's a small sample size, but the Jinx ban coming out as well versus Hell.
So right now with Amumu, I think that's actually a fairly decent pick in the sense that it flexes both the support role and the jungle role. And as long as PSA doesn't just fully tip their hand here with the ban, it's going to be really keeping it hidden as to what Amumu, what role Amumu is going to fill here.
The Ornn ban.
Yeah. You have to respect that some of that scaling, some of the ornaments. I mean, Call of the Forge God is an amazing ability in itself.
And there's no Silas to steal it as well.
Yeah. Yeah, there's no first strike Silas this time.
Yeah, no first strike Silas here as well. The Zeri coming through as well. Who'd actually be able to steal Galio's shield? So that's actually kind of interesting. Mechanically speaking, he would also benefit for some of this movement speed and be able to match Sivir's fleet of foot movement as well. One last band here. Hell has to figure out which champion they think is going to be a problem for their composition, or they just don't want to see again into this second game here. Looks like the answer is Cho'Gath. They don't necessarily deal with big, beefy boys like that, so it certainly makes some sense if he scales.
Yeah, let's say last game they had Asol banned, but they don't need to with the Galio opening up.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be Irelia hovered here for the top side. Going to be giving them an extra damage threat. That's going to be Milio hovered. All right, that's an Amumu confirmed in the jungle. Milio kind of can't fulfill any other role outside of support that successfully that I've seen. So
don't you doubt Fu here. Obviously going to go with the Milio jungle. No, but in all seriousness, it's going to be a little bit difficult. He can obviously cleanse the charm here, but Rakan does have a knock up here, which he can't go after. So this engage could be quite potent here as well if they're not going to be able to get out if they get caught out as they're vulnerable as an enchanter. This could be a Cassiopeia AD carry to the bot side with Jello. Yeah. The Miasma into Rakan knockup, that's pretty potent.
So you have the option of either you want tank or you want to go something with AD, and that is AD. Yeah. Yeah. I'm like,
I think makes sense, right?
I think you go Olaf here, or I mean, there is a world in which you consider what's the champion Malphite here, into which you can just blow up Milio instantly.
Bonk or Sivir, right? If this
Sivir not so much. Sivir's a tough one with Unstoppable Force because you are then able to use the mana shield to kind of just eat that initial proc because you can't cast other spells in the flight of Unstoppable Force.
That is true, but like that's what I was saying. If it's down or if you just catch him over vision.
Yeah. But a lot of CC coming in from PSA. We're gonna see if they can just kind of bolster this Sivir. But looking at both of these comps, who do you think has the innate advantage?
Cassiopeia it's been a while since I've seen this into the bot lane here, so it's going to be a little bit harder for me to assess. But on the flip side, there's a reason why I haven't seen it into the bot side. It hasn't been performing quite as strong here. I think based off of the performance we saw off of PSA, I think they are going to do wonders here. Of course, the adaptation by Hell, I think, is going to be quite helpful here. But I'm not so sure it's going to be enough.
Yeah, right now, you just have to keep in mind of for this bot lane. Okay, so what we're assuming is Sivir Milio versus Cassio Rakan. Mm-hmm. So right now, Rakan already has a hard time in general because he doesn't have linear movement in the obviously in some sense it's linear in the sense he moves from point A to B, but then he can throw up some different variations in that because he has the extra dash, so he can kind of be a little bit tricky with it. So Milio is going to have a hard time to push him away with the Q, but Milio is going to be able to just kind of play away from that fairly effectively. But Sivir, all she needs to do is eat the Q coming in from the Cassio with her mana shield. and then Cassio loses the trade from there. Because if you don't have the poison on the Sivir, you don't get the 50% movement. Later it becomes a 50% movement speed, but you don't get the movement speed buff against Sivir, and then you can't trade in like the four E's into Sivir, and you just kind of like lose the trade from there, and you kind of really tip your hand, and then you throw a lot of your mana into into that trade.
Yeah.
So
the flip side is if you're stuck in the miasma, your spell shield doesn't really fix that problem. On top of which, then you could potentially get another Q off to go for the longer trade. But Cassiopeia pretty mana hungry and is forced to have a tier start versus PSA's bot laner here. Todoroki is just going to be able to auto things and get a little bit more value here as well, as that's not as resource demanding, although it doesn't necessarily start as strong.
Yeah. You also have like the option of if Sivir just shoves the lane in, which she can do very effectively, she shoves it in. Cassio's going to have a tough time to get a lot of this CS under the tower. Like obviously she does get the mana cost, the mana refund from the Twin Fang proc, but it's going to be very hard for it to like efficiently get off. So Cassio's going to have to sink a lot of her mana into those minions, and so in a lot of different ways, Cassio I think could be in trouble.
Yeah, you also have to keep in mind though, Rakan support items can be able to take some of those minions for her as well. Which is
that's quite fair.
Spots. So that's going to help things out a lot. It's not going to fix the problem entirely, though. It'll mitigate the problem or reduce it, but it won't completely like say, it's fine, just hand wave it.
Yeah. So obviously, Todoroki just is going to be needing to play this very effectively, or otherwise, hey, they could very easily net a kill for Cassio Rakan. They have kill potential.
Yep.
But sorry.
And one of the other things to keep in mind here, if it's Cask Mid and Syndra bot, which is another possibility here, Sivir is still pretty safe and has a good range as well. It looks like that's going to be the case here. So I'm glad I caught that. I'm like, wait a minute, it could be switched here as well. So Royal Egg is matchup in the mid lane. Still not going to be as good, I think, versus Galio, but can stop some of the engage with Miasma.
Cassio does kind of beat Galio in a lot of these long trades. So I think that she is going to be very potent for Galio. And then also, if he dashes in, you just throw the miasma behind him, and now he's locked into this fight. And Cassio revels in some of these long fights.
With Conqueror?
I'm like, you go Conqueror, and then you just get a lot of mana back. But then also, Galio, throwing in a lot of the damage, is looking at you for a very, very long, extended period of time. He's really locked into his cast animations. So at any point, you can get the stone, you can get the petrifying gaze off on him. It's gonna be quite strong.
You know, I almost feel like Galio should get like a resistance to that or something. He's already made of stone, so like, what the petrifying gaze gonna do to him? What's it gonna do to a Malphite? You're already a rock.
Yeah, I honestly that'd be absolutely funny tech of just like an April Fool's thing of just Malphite and Galio just can't be petrified. That would be I guess the text for like it's called petrifying gaze, but that the text the CC text for it is stunning.
Yeah.
So a little bit of a misnomer. I think you could just add petrified as a keyword. I mean, you got like you started to add a lot of these like newer ones. Like you got brittle, you got obviously the sleeps and stuff. But looking at top lane. Who do you think wins that? I think it just easy goes over to Olaf.
Yeah, I think it's pretty easy for Olaf to go over. Of course, once he starts to fall off and his lead isn't as strong, this Malphite's a lot stronger. The laning phase definitely going to be favoring the villain era.
Also, so do you really set up Olaf in the sense of do you want to just play for the 1v1 in the lane and go for like a split push, or do you want to just have it so then you could just run into the back lane and just kill Todoroki?
I would absolutely love to have a split push Olaf monster, but we saw how well that split push mentality worked for Hell beforehand. So I would say make this man big and just say, I will deal with the back line. Just live, guys, okay?
Yeah, that's quite fair. But junglers, I think Wukong and Amumu Wukong can do a little bit of plays in the early game, kind of start setting up for a little bit of a faster paced game, and try to make some plays in the top side. But I think that both junglers really want to get their level 6 to start
Mhm.
becoming very efficient.
They're very champ defining for both of these. Wukong, I believe, has a little bit faster of a clear speed early on,
Uh,
just because of what he ends up building. Amumu doesn't build as quite as much damage. They do have the splash damage as well. But of course, the double hooks is going to be really important to set up some of these plays as well, with how both sides want to be playing these out.
so important thing to know is like tantrum cooldown gets reduced whenever like hit by
Yep,
like
yep.
anything. So
Raptors
like
is so easy to clear.
I was gonna say like raptors, krugs, wolves, even like you can kind of flash farm those, and then those bigger like solo target minions. You have despair, I believe, or tears of despair, or just despair,
Yeah,
where then you have where you're constantly applying the max health curse true damage on like onto the minion, and then also just max health magic damage. So it's like
yeah.
you kind of very quickly chunk through a like this the single target camps and also the AoE ones. So like Amumu has a fairly efficient like clear speed.
He does, but I'm just thinking like in the auto resets where you can go to Wukong, get the buff. I
Yeah.
think a little bit faster as well, which I mean that buff lead time lead helps, and then the extra damage that comes from red buff and the autos and all that helps as well. Obviously, the AoE damage favors Amumu until you can get some of these like if you end up getting like an early Tiamat or something to help with your AoE damage.
Wait, do you just say Amumu with a Tiamat?
No. I meant Wukong.
Wukong. Okay. And I'm like, whoa, that's some crazy meta there.
Crazy tech.
Absolutely wild. But as we kind of wait for the Spectre delay to wear on out, we are going to be pushing it over to break here shortly. Don't go anywhere. We will be back with game 2, and we will see if it's going to be a clean sweep from PSA or we're going to be dragging this out to a competitive game 3. Hello, everybody. We are back with this game 2. This is going to be Ragnarok Hell versus Premier Esports Academy. We're going to be having Hell again on the blue side and PSA on the red. We aren't going to be seeing a first blood sub 1 minute this time, I don't believe. But looking across the board, we see any interesting summoners or keystones we want to make mention of.
I think things are pretty standard here. There is the cleanse spell shield here as well, which might be something important to note for how these teams are currently playing. The double TP on both sides. There isn't one onto top side. The Ghost just helping go and air run stuff down. I think pretty standard right now.
So important thing to note is, I think for Bobby Boy, like on Malphite, you do technically have a few options, but the primary ones that you are going to be seeing from Malphite, I think most of the time you're going to be seeing Grasp, but in some of these more dire matchups, you are just going to be going for Arcane Comet and then just play for Cheese Wheel and just get as many Qs off as possible and just hope that pokes out your enemy laner. But if Villain eats this with the W shields like consistently, I think Bobby is just going to get crammed out of this lane.
It's so much mana as well, and if he gets any amount of sustain, it makes things a little bit more difficult. Of course, Bobby Boy is going to have a decent amount of armor versus Olaf, but the armor penetration on the other side will make things a little bit more difficult. But the axe resets here as well, being able to trade damage into minions and him, just so nice. Now, another thing I want to highlight is it looks like bot lane's going to try and be a little bit more aggressive here with this Ignite Longsword triple pot. So we'll have to see if they end up going for a kill here early on, as that was another success lead for PSA or PEA.
Right now they have the level 2 spike. Are they going to be doing anything with it? No, we're just going to be nice and farming it out. But in the bot lane, we are going to be we're going to be seeing Jello with first strike, which I think is perfectly fine and admirable.
You've got good range.
Yeah.
With that as well.
But Bobby versus Villain on this top side. Bobby is going to be kind of winning out on this mana trading. Actually, it's fairly close, though.
Fairly close. HP also fairly close here as well, but the refillable potions can be quite nice. Both of them do have biscuits as well. Something to highlight here when thinking about the mana as well. Now, gold-wise, still pretty even here. Farm, pretty even here as well. Amumu's clear speed Fu is a camp ahead of the full clear for Jedi Window here. Still looks like the jungle expert was right about the jungle. Who would have thought?
Yeah. I was gonna say Mumu was pretty fast at it. But now with Olaf shoving in, we could be seeing first blood going over to the top side. We have level 4 on the Villain. He will have Ghost, but now it's time to go for it. Villain throwing down the
Ghost.
Yeah, that's gonna be just flash for flash instantly. Just feeling that in his blood, and that is gonna be red buff going over to Villain. Now we have Jedi coming in the sidelines. Bobby is low on mana. Will they be getting the pickup? That's gonna be double kill going over to Villain. What an absolute disaster for Bobby.
Yeah, I mentioned game 1. Yeah, Olaf pretty good this set. This is why, folks. Like, he was just able to flash, run things down. The mechanics, the play, the slows, the axes. It's exactly what you want to be seeing here. And with the wave crashing here, this forces out the teleport out of Bobby Boy there. Although this red buff might be exchanging hands here. If he goes in for any longer of a trade, he's getting a little low and has no refillable pots.
Exactly. Also, ooh. Yeah, in this bot lane, I am so surprised. The W is going to be coming out. Will he be getting enough lifesteal? I don't think so. That's going to be Bobby flashing in, getting the shutdown, and now getting that red buff handed over. It's mine.
Yeah, sharing is caring. That's what I was always taught in kindergarten. The flash coming out, the miasma coming here for the return.
Ooh, trying to get some damage onto Royal Egg. Ripper in trouble, low on mana. Will Jedi be able to get there? He did cancel an auto. Jack going to be getting the knock up. Egg is coming in from the sideline, going to be forcing him back through, and that's going to be a pickup for Jedi.
Yeah, Ripper didn't want the knock up there because that means he wasn't going to be gliding any further away to his tower. So Window ending up taking that was super good news for them
here as well. Villain Era saying, I don't necessarily need these minions here. I'm going to try and slow you down to your tower.
Yeah,
Out of you. These axes, dude.
Yeah,
Oh my goodness.
I'm
That's
like,
his red buff.
yeah, you're too far out, buddy. Hand that red buff back over. You're way too far out. I can run you down the entire distance of this lane. I have boots. B, you don't have boots. And C, these are some real fun axes. Like, you'll be able to cheese wheel once, but that's not going to be enough.
Yeah, it's not going to be enough. And with the Tiamat there, holy cow. That's such a detriment here. And if you look at the items here, one of his items is a cloth.
Ooh, Jello. Didn't spot him out, but that's going to be Ice Queen getting grabbed by the taunt. Ignite coming through. Will that be enough to take down the Rakan, the Vastaya? Not burning alive. Close.
How much HP is this man at? He's at 92 HP with all said and done after the heal. Holy moly. Which would have been 100 some health at some point.
Uh-oh. That's going to be Petrifying Gaze coming through. Bagfu is in trouble. Egg is going to be getting the pickup. Now we have Villain coming in from the sideline. Jack in trouble. Will he be able to get away? That's going to be a Ragnarok used by Olaf, and that's going to be a double kill going over to Egg. This is going to be a very, very scary setup for not Lissandra, Cassio at this point in the game.
Yeah, just being able to get that Rod of Ages as quickly as possible so it can stack. There's a physical timer attached to it. It's going to be so nice here. Of course, this was possible due to the rotations that were happening. Villain Area be able to get these shoves, these kills. Super good. It's not going to have Ragnarok for Unstoppable Force, which is currently online. But Bobby really doesn't want to take these fights right now. For some reason, Olaf might be 3-1.
Yeah, no. But Bobby can't. I think the only time that Bobby wants to take a trade is when the passive is up. But right now, I was going to say, right now, the Villain is just able to just eat the entire passive with a single axe.
Holy. That man, the myth, the axe. So strong here. Royal Egg combining some items here to get their Aegis here, or Catalyst of Aeons. Super duper good for them. Big CS advantage though into the bot lane here, which is going to help out PEA.
Yeah, an important thing to note is PSA really kind of sacked a lot of. Ooh, we're getting some excitement here. Okay, PSA kind of sacked a lot of their lanes for just kind of a.
Hold that thought.
Bobby's probably going to have to use ultimate, get out of here, because Villain has activated the ultimate, is going to be throwing these axes, going to be quite low on mana. Will he be getting the pickup? That's going to be the ultimate used under the tower. Still getting the
he
kill
ended
off.
up getting the return kill here,
Yeah.
but with the wave pushing back for Villain Era, this is good news for him. Dying here is not actually that bad or punishing. As you can see how this wave's going to line up, he's going to be up in 5 seconds here. Royal Egg might be in a little bit of a dangerous spot if they don't have a lot of vision here, and Ripper can't engage here. Should Fu come around here and get for a stun, that would make things a little bit more difficult for Royal Egg, especially with some of the damage they've taken here. Not necessarily needed. A lot of damage going into Ice Queen here as well, which happens, right? There's so much range coming out of Shidoruki here.
Ooh, that's going to be a fair bit of damage. Soda, potentially trouble. Breath of Life coming through. Jello now ignited. A lot of damage coming in. Shotoroki is going to be getting the pickup in this bot lane. In the mid lane, Jack is in trouble. That's going to be Petrifying Gaze. Bagfru picked up as well. That's a double kill. 4 Egg is now on a rampage. Era going in top lane. Bobby, get over here. Take these axes.
Yeah. Now, that interaction with the bandage ended up being stopped by Wukong, as you don't have an unstoppable proc with the bandage there, so you get knocked up there. And of course, the play coming from Jello there, they ended up already using their ultimate Unleashed Power, so they just didn't have the damage to sink into Shotoruki here, who was just able to auto run them down and utilize their range, as the other side was quite low.
So an important thing to note here, like, again, we're seeing another person pick First Strike when I think it was the suboptimal rune. In bot lane, Melio is able to throw out a fair bit of poke. Sivir, with the Ricochet and the Boomerang Blade, is likely going to be just taking off that First Strike. So right now, like, going First Strike, you're hoping that you have good enough vision to basically blow someone up. But in this
Yeah.
bot lane, you're not going to get many procs of it, and it's going to be a kind of a near worth, kind of in some ways a worthless rune. And you'd much rather have like a Arcane Comet, where it's a little bit more guaranteed
Comet
damage.
is worse. Comet is worse because of Spell Shield, because you're guaranteed to get the proc off for the heal,
Yeah,
even if they dodge it for the Q. So that doesn't help as much as you would like here.
No, I'm
I
saying
just-
like you can at least get like damage into Emilio, and then you can like splash in like Mana Flow Band, and you can get more helpful.
Yeah, but Sivir can always just walk in and press E for free and get some health back, because the Comet's so predictable to land,
Yeah.
and you know exactly where it's going, because it's very
Okay,
able to find.
Then summon area, like
Summon
you have-
Airy, yeah, much better.
Yeah. I'm like, you have a few options here, but I think that First Strike isn't it. Like Electrocute would have been fine, but like,
Yep, Electrocute also would
Yeah.
have been a fine option here, going into secondary here for the Mana Flow Band to just be able to poke damage out way better.
yeah. I'm like Syndra is super mana thirsty in the early game. Just does not have the mana pool to really just kind of hang in some of the
Yep.
earlier portions, and Sivir is able to just kind of beat that out, takes presence of mind, and just will be able to continuously poke.
Down 20 farm. Not the worst case scenario when you're in a counter
Yeah.
matchup, but taking this
Considering
much
last game, much better.
Yeah. I mean, Ice Queen also hasn't been caught out as much. The only death here is actually Angelo, this side of the equation.
Yeah, but you still just have the top side of the map just kind of bowling out. Obviously, doing much better in the mid lane compared to last game. So this is really looking to be more lopsided in the favor of Ragnarok.
Now, one thing I want to point out here is that Herald was taken beforehand, and it's right onto Villain Era right now, who's pressuring this top side quite beautifully here. 2 plates, a little shy of that right now with the changes. So some more plates, he can be able to take it there with his fully stacked Revenant's Hydra already. And then, of course, the Dragon earlier taken, the extra resistances is going to really help out some of these plays as well.
Yeah, we've already seen more objectives. Jedi's in trouble.
Oh,
That's going to
the
be Cyclone coming through. We're going to be getting the
Cyclone's
knockups
flash.
right now.
Oh
no. That's going to be Cyclone coming through. That's going to be a pickup for Jedi. Jedi is trying to get away the best he can. He's unable to right now. Ice Queen all by themselves. Coming in with the rest of the squad. Royal Egg TP'd in. That's going to be Miasma used. And so does. Will they be able to get out, or will the be? Oh,
Villain got
Poison
so
was
much
in his
gold
veins, but
Villain.
unable to take him down. Now it's Era trapped, potentially here.
Oh, Fu. Oh, no. Oh,
Who's in trouble? That's going to
sweet
be
summer
a flash
child.
forced out from him.
Yeah, so dangerously low there. They're at what? Holy cow. They're
A
at
sliver of
38. 38 HP right
a
now.
stiff wind is going to be killing Fu here. But now they need to just hit the tower. Okay, there you go. They got rid of the tower. That's going to be first tower going over to at Hell here and going to be forcing a flash out of this Galio.
Yeah, and Bobby was able to get 1 plate for that entire play here. Maybe a second one here. They're going to be able to recover some farm as well, but they're still down nearly 40 farm, which is not where we want to be at this stage in the game. Villanera, has 8 farm a minute at this stage of the game, 5 kills, and Bobby does not want to take this fight. Schmovin.
Yeah,
Schmovin. Unstoppable.
I'm like, some of these times I know it feels bad, but you gotta just pull ripcord and commit ultimate. You're just forced into that spot. I mean, when you last picked Malphite, you already knew that you're going to be losing lane because you counterpicked yourself as the last pick. So you just have to be willing to sacrifice some CS just to be effective for the
of sacrifices. Look at his mythic that he ended up just building. Radiant Virtue here as well.
Yeah, like right now we're gonna be just seeing just pure team players with both Ripper and onto Bobby. I mean, last game we saw that with Nautilus. I'm a CC bot in the mid lane.
I just don't like this play.
I'm a tanky boy.
I don't like this mentality of, hey, just one team fight and we can win this. You're already down 5k, which is quite difficult. But when you're behind, team fighting isn't going to be as great here. You're not going to be able to force fights out like you were last time. And you're just not going to have the damage to necessarily get some picks off as well. And some return damage is going to be happening here as well.
Yeah. I mean, you're already setting yourself up for a very different precedent in the sense that, like, I I don't want to. Yeah, I was thinking going over to hell. Like, wait, actually, Egg gonna be using petrifying gaze. Will he be able to pick up Jack? A lot of damage coming through. The taunt's coming off. She is low on mana.
It's a
That's gonna
shutdown,
be shut down. Going
721.
over to the sad child, finding a new friend in Cassio.
Yeah,
But-
taking her in open arms. 721 gold after all of that is said and done.
Yeah,
Just good for
this
them.
game, okay, but this game was just quite different in the sense of Silo's kind of grief the mid lane, so then you now have just more efficient laner, and you're going to be putting a Ripper on the back foot, and kind of really changing the dynamic from what you had in game 1 to game 2.
Yeah, the bot for Hell has really adjusted. They haven't been dying as much, and topside has still been ripping into Bowie here, Bobby Boy. So that's
Yeah.
been pretty good. And then Fu hasn't been able to get quite as much with his pick here. It's obviously 1-3-1, so he's gotten some value here. But on the flip side, Windu 2-1-5 has been able to get a lot out of it with a similar farm difference, 4 stacks on his smite item versus 3. So still pretty close to the end here.
But an important thing to know, Bobby was like, I believe, like 1-6 at this point. So, like even Bobby's doing notably better despite the counter matchup. So, like, definitely a lot of good changes across the board for Ragnarok. So I think they are like still very much in the driver's seat. They can pick up some of these shutdowns. Obviously, ooh, that's gonna be a nice shove away. Being able to buffer that stun stun from Jello. Nice job.
Turns out pushing people away really good at countering hooks. Excellent part of Syndra's play. Something we didn't necessarily highlight earlier on, but some of the wave clear and running out abilities that she has is part of that. Implied at least, as you can just see her kind of neutralize this wave, making it harder for Fu to go in. They could possibly do it, but that's a little risky here, being they don't have vision on people as much.
Oh, she is gonna just get CC'd into oblivion. Egg trying to do the best they can. Not gonna be enough. Bobby's gonna be getting the pickup now. Villain going after Soda. Soda's in trouble. That's gonna be flash coming through. Will he be chasing him under the tower? It looks like he doesn't even get to the tower. That is gonna be a sad support going down.
Yeah, I was looking at the mini map there. I'm like, someone's gonna get caught out.
We're still on ghost. We're still on ghost extension. Villain's just gonna be running him down. Yeah, I'm like, we still have Ragnarok on usable, but now gonna be.
Oh no!
Yeah, I was gonna say you can't. I was gonna say you cannot pop over the wall if you have that active. But now they're gonna be getting a pickup. That's gonna be Cyclone coming through. They get the grab onto Shodoroki. Bobby trying to get away under this tower is unable to. Is gonna get picked up now. It's just Jack all by himself. Is he gonna be going down? They are committing a lot here. Villain eating as many tower procs as they can. Jello is getting quite low. That's gonna be a grab. Villain's gonna be surviving there.
Yep, Villain survives.
That's going to be 4 of them. No ace because Milia was able to respawn, but that's going to be a massive amount of kills going over to Ragnarok.
7k gold differential, able to utilize that as before. The collapse has been quite important here. Villainera just being big, the Ravenous Hydra, and all of that jazz has been so nice for them. And him taking all those tower shots where the rest of the team does a bunch of damage there really did enable that for sure. Now, 2 dragons down here as well, super good for them. It's going to be Windrake, so no extra blast cones, which, fun fact, last I checked, are coded different than the standard jungle ones, so you can Ragnarok over with them because of how it's coded.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, it shouldn't be that way, but I've definitely seen clips of Ragnarok's Olaf's just being shot over. I think an ally has to do it, or something. It's weird. It's so jank.
Gotcha. The more you know moment, I guess.
But
so right now, I hesitate to say it, but I think the 7k gold lead is just going to be a little bit too much of a mountain to climb at this point in the game, because like you put all of your eggs in the Sivir basket, and she's 1 and 2.
So there's one thing to note here. Sivir does scale quite nicely. And Villainera will fall off at some point. He's not going to be strong forever. So if this gold lead starts slipping, it's going to be harder to keep on to.
Yeah, but you still have a Cyclone into just a lot of CC. Oh, that's going to be Bagfu coming into the back line. That's going to be Tantrum coming through. It's going to be grabbing a lot. Jedi down to
Oh,
half health.
no.
Massive Petrifying Gaze coming in from the sideline. That's going to be double kill going over to Jello. Jello is going to be getting a triple kill. It's going to be Soda is the only survivor again. A near ace. And this is looking like this game is
It's getting rougher.
Yeah,
It's
it's
getting rougher.
feeling like it's not a perfect blowout, but it kind of feels like a blowout. It's 10K gold lead at the 20-minute mark.
That
Kind of feeling
is
quite
about
stompy.
it. 500 gold lead added on every minute does consider a stomp here.
Yeah.
And with not even needing Olaf here, Villain Era can take on the dragon by themselves as they get the Baron. No one died, so everyone has it. Going to get some nice recalls here as well. Certainly good for them. I've seen game states like this before, and this team has thrown. Well, not this specific team, but teams in this game state have thrown. But it's very unlikely when you get 11,000 with this big of a reset, pushing out 4 towers down to 0. They really need on PEA some of these objective shutdowns. Top tower, super low. They might be able to get one there. Or if they can just get any of these champs shutdowns here as well, that'll be nice. But the vision scores, they're notably lower on the side of PEA than last game.
Yeah. They're just too far behind at this point in time. They sacrifice so many of their lanes in draft to like right now. I think they need to reconstruct some of their thoughts on draft. I think they have great ideas for CC, but they are playing to kind of protect the weak link that is Bobby. They're playing on the red side, and they are playing for what they are kind of. I'm thinking is their weakest link because they're sending they're adding like in a bunch of bans for like Bobby specifically, and then he's still losing in the top lane even though we give him the counter pick. So it's just like it's like pick Bobby on something just steady in the early game. Like okay, Sion is kind of a little bit sad in some senses. Make him play slow, make him play nice and easy, and then put him on that so then you can save your counter pick for something else.
I think that PEA is a great aggressor, but they don't play the defense quite as well. So
Yeah.
if they lost earlier on, that's an issue. I still think some of these bans are fine, right? Because like a Kled that gets ahead is so much worse than an Olaf because you only get stronger as the game goes on.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So I think some of these bans certainly do make sense. Like the Olaf from this current game from in game 1 certainly makes sense where that was there and all of this other stuff. Of course, another kill happened as well. We'll just say it.
Yeah.
As this tower gets sieged to the bot side.
I think it's perfectly fine to ban those champs, but like let's be real. On average, like you're not gonna go well out of your way to be like, oh my gosh. In most of your lineups, unless the person obviously plays it, you aren't going to be banning Kled because of the threat it provides to your team. Because you're worried about the player who like specifically. And
I think Ragnarok does play Kled.
What?
I think Ragnarok does play Kled.
Yeah. Royal Egg does play Kled. So it's like okay, they're being worried about that player, but then for this one they definitely still did throw a few bans out to countering some of the top lane stuff, but obviously Olaf was left open, so beats out a lot of things. I think you just want to put Bobby on something safe, nice, easy. I mean, hey, still did fairly decent despite the counter lane on the Malphite. I mean, so it's just like you see that Bobby's doing fairly decent, so hey, you could just repick Bobby on the Malphite, and then you could save some of these counter picks for somewhere else in the map.
I think the upside to Malphite is even if you're behind, you can still press R, be an unstoppable force, and set up your team for something. The issue here is your team's so far behind, setting them up doesn't do
you're setting them up to slap them with a wet napkin. Cool.
Yeah. Yep. So with this going on, a Baron buff has been released. The game has not been closed here, but with all these inhibs down, it's so dangerous for Fu to try and take any of these jungle camps. He might be able to get away here with his life, but now they know where he is, they know where the other team is, but they can just coordinate these lanes to push together, making it harder for them to respond, push in, and take the Nexus. It's a minute before Dragon happens. You don't need Soul. Play nice and slow, use your range, use your gold advantage, and just win. That's all Hell
Yeah.
has to do here.
Just gotta take it nice, easy. Just squelch any chance of rebuttal.
Yeah. Make your clone tank the damage as you did.
Yep. All 3 inhibs are down. That's gonna be hard for them to clear. They do have Sivir. We'll have the ricochet, but
Sivir only has 2 items, notably here, and
Yep.
because they're sinking damage into the wave, they can't sink damage into champions because you have a limited number of bounces now. Well, it's been that way for a while, and then we just watched. Oh, boom, waves cleared. Next set's going to happen. Let the slaughtering of the towers begin yet again.
yeah. Plus huge. Oh, that's gonna be Ragnarok coming out. They are ground. Good few of them are grounded. That's gonna be Galio alt coming through. Cyclone.
The quad cyclone.
Disgusting. Absolutely. Just yeah.
Hey? Shut down.
Oh boy! Wow.
Oh, it
Gonna
was
be
an ace.
buttering up the KDA a little bit at the end there, but that's gonna be full
Hey.
ace going over to them.
Hey, there is a weekly stat spread for KDA who has the highest kills.
And
So it's important. It's important stuff.
fair enough. Fair enough. All right, we are now going to be going into a game 3. Going to be seeing if we can get the reverse sweep, or if we're going to be having PSA just strike them down. Hello, everyone. I was asleep at the wheel. I apologize, but we are now just roaring into this draft for Game 3. We're going to be swapping sides here. PSA on the blue side and Ragnarok Hell on the red side for this conclusory match. We're going to be having Mordecai, Nautilus, and Kaisa picked for PSA with the Vi, Wukong, and Olaf Band. Get all of these unstoppable CC monster AD monsters out of here. And on the side of Hell, we're going to be picking up the Syndra Rakan. We like that bot lane. We're going to be running it back. We got rid of the Zaya, Varus, and Blitzcrank, kind of keeping the same ban ideas, but we're going to be picking up the Xin Zhao.
Yeah, no Olaf as well on the other side. We saw this Nautilus Kaisa combo work pretty well. Of course, Nautilus was in the mid lane, the bot lane. We also saw this Mordekaiser really work well, and the team came together. So PSA utilizing this priority pick quite well, I think is going to be nice. And I really like Hell's Syndra pick here. Of course, they didn't know they would have Void buddies into the bot lane here, but she will outrange Kaisa, which will make things a little bit more difficult here for PSA as well. Rakan is going to help Peel, and Xin Zhao is also going to do some of this duty here as well. So I kind of like how both of these comps have been coming together so far.
Right now, obviously for PSA, you have Mordekaiser, who is flex. We also see the Nautilus, who has flexed outside of the traditional support role. So this does leave the door open. But I think Ornn is a very strong band for Hell, just so they don't continuously stack stats. They're going to be getting rid of Cho'Gath. Hell is just going to be running with the same bands almost the entire draft set. Only variation or only deviation from that has just been a soul one time for the Ornn and the Leona going over to the Blitzcrank. But I think that Cassio was a very good ban in the sense that you have a lot of tanks, and Miasma and Petrifying Gaze is just a lot to handle with a tanky CC comp when they're all grouped.
One thing to note here, Hell has changed their team once again. Villainaire is in the top side, but Royal Egg's in the support side, and Soda is in the mid lane here. Something to keep in mind.
Quite interesting. We're just going to be seeing a lot of variations coming out of Ragnarok.
Yeah. I think their composition worked fine last time, so I don't understand why they're doing this, but we'll see how this goes. Aesol, pretty linear champion here, is going to be able to pick stuff up. Was banned game 1, and it's being rotated here. I like it.
Yeah, this is going to kind of, in some ways, you could still try to push it, but PSA is going to be in a little bit of trouble if they try to just continuously double down on all of these tanky laners and all these tanky options, because Singularity is just going to be put out right in the middle. It's kind of like it's like the Miasma effect. Miasma is just going to be a very nice, efficient spacer, and I think that's smart for them to pick up Nakali to match the Aesol.
Also, like, good wave clear, right? Like,
yeah,
Aesol has some like good potential to match Akali, but if those matching roams turn into 1v1s, the assassin's going to win that, which is going to be quite nice here. Speaking of 1v1s, Belveth here could be quite nice in some of these, especially when you get to Xin Zhao's face.
So we have now saved the final counter pick. What are they going to be picking into this Mordekaiser? I think there's a few good options. Jax is, okay. I would say Jax is very strong in a Mordekaiser. He's unable to really get the third proc off to really get his passive just active and online. And Jax just makes Mordekaiser's life pretty tough there in the top lane. And that kind of really rounds out the AD damage they're kind of lacking. I mean, they did have a Xin Zhao, but Jax is going to be really helping flesh that out.
It's also kind of in that same echelon of play as Olaf was, so
yeah. So looking at these comps, immediate thoughts in your mind, who do you think won this draft?
Who won this draft? Well, the long con game favors Hell, but I don't think these games have been going all that long. They've been pushing 30 minutes, 35 at the latest here. So the mid game is going to be the more demanding section of this. I think PSA has an advantage here. I know last game they ended up dropping it here, but I think they're going to be able to be an aggressor a little bit more, and that is what's going to change things just enough for them to potentially get this best of three.
I I do like like some of the variations that PSA has really thrown into the mix here. I just not going for just uh, for lack of better terms, oops all CC plus an ADC. Um,
If I want to
which I
Yeah.
mean,
win,
hey,
I'll
it
beat
worked
it
game
out of
one,
you.
but then for game two, obviously we saw a little bit of the downfalls of that, and now we are just going to be having a little bit more of a traditional style comp. But I think Akali is going to be quite efficient into the Aurelion Soul. Singularity usage is going to be very important for him to effectively use that to get Stardust and also to space off the Akali so she does not kind of poke him down into oblivion with her Qs. But looking at this top, I kind of talked about top lane, but I think the interesting one is going to be the jungle, Bel'Veth versus Xin Zhao. How do you think that's going to fare?
I think it's pretty interesting. Both have gap closers of their own. Bel'Veth is going to be able to dodge and potentially re-engage here. And Bel'Veth's ultimate's pretty... you stay in that one spot, so Xin Zhao is going to be able to push that away. I think that's going to be pretty important. But if Bel'Veth can stick onto Xin Zhao, it's not going to be as great for him. It also means this top side matchup is going to be a lot more important as you really want these Rift Heralds and Barons and whatnot to get these full usage out of your champion here.
Yeah, Bel'Veth with just the lavender stacks, but then B getting the other part of the passive. I'm forgetting the name of that at the moment, but you get the other little extra minions that help you shove towers and really just get some efficient, quick damage. And you have instead of like with champion kills, you get the 60 seconds of positive augmentation. You get a full 3 minutes where you're getting that extra pure damage, extra attack speed, more damage to all of your stuff, and able to dash through walls. So Bel'Veth really, really starts to just become more than just in some senses a half a champion. Like it really just kind of pushes her into just another like she goes from like A
She's
tier
a
into
level
S tier.
she's a level 5 kale to a level 11 kale.
Yeah, for sure, yes. Um, so I think that's going to be just a very big boon for their team. I'm going to be interested to see what Keystone's Xin Zhao goes here, because you could go for the aggressive, like this hyper aggressive option of Hail Blades, which I think can definitely work to get in some of these ganks. However, and like you could be focusing on the Mordekaiser in the top lane, or you could be going for a little bit more paced out, like lethal tempo PTA. So I'm kind of interested to see what the Xin Zhao like really wants to opt out for.
I think if he's able to burst out some of these targets like Akali or Bel'Veth, that's a good boon for them, and of course Kai'Sa. He's not gonna be able to do that to Nautilus or Mordekaiser, but I don't think that's his job necessarily, anyways. So I do see some advantage to this as well, but I also see slow playing it could also be quite nice. Xin Zhao really nasty versus Kai'Sa. The isolated Q, the Issachin Rain, not very good when that ultimate's around.
Yeah, that's quite fair. I'm also interested to see what Keystone Aurelion Soul goes for. I've seen a lot of different basically like options thrown in across the board. I think one of the more successful ones I've personally seen is Unleashed Spellbook on a
Yeah,
soul. I've seen that quite a bit from like Faker and like a bunch of people on like the Korean circuit. But I'm curious, what do you think is going to be the best option against this Akali?
this is actually one of the times where they'll have a range advantage. They might actually be able to utilize First Strike, but I think they want to kind of be slow and methodical about this and just scale things up. So unless they think they can reliably get this, which by the way, it's Egg playing this, they ended up switching back. Then First Strike's gonna be great. But if not, I just think the Unsealed Spellbook could be quite nice. Just being able to have a teleport up for some of these big objectives, or split push, or just having some of these extra defensive options if they know that's going to be a big fight as well. It could be a boon.
Yeah, I mean, also having some of those extra that summoner options is going to kind of help protect you in your more vulnerable stages of the game to help you just build up that stardust. So it's like, okay,
Yeah.
I had to like burn my flash to get away from a collie so I didn't die here, or I had to use my TP, yada yada. And then you're able to switch it over to another another combat summoner or defensive combat summoner.
Like
To
Ghost or Exhaust, right? Like that's so
yeah,
good.
I mean, shit. If you need to use like Ghost to run back in a lane, hey, why not? It works with Astral Glide. You can get there pretty fast, or you can use it of just, oh no, that's a Kali really just is looking at me like I'm a juicy snack. I go for barrier. I go for exhaust. Like,
Yeah.
it's very versatile.
Ghost can be a budget flash or a budget TP on some days.
Yep. But bot lane, we are going to be having the Cinder Rakan again. So we kind of saw what they brought to the table. I think this time, First Strike is going to be very, very good. That's not going to be falling off near constantly as it did in the last matchup. But Kai'Sa Nautilus, how do you think they're going to fare against that bot lane?
Nautilus does not like being harassed here, so Syndra's range is going to be good against both Kai'Sa and Nautilus. However, Rakan isn't going to have, I think, the most fun time. He's just stuck on the peel duty, and so is Nautilus. Like, anyone who goes in, if he goes in, Syndra pushback, Rakan knock up, the whole shebang. Rakan goes first. Well, there's a Nautilus right there, or they just jump onto the Syndra, and then Kai'Sa rearrange, ISO Q, kills, the whole shebang. Not super great there, so it might just be chill for both the carries in this lane. Supports actually might have some time to roam or just stay there and get in the way of the enemy support.
Yeah. But as we wait for that Spectre delay to wear on down, we are going to be getting into the thrilling conclusion of this set. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back. Hot. 3, 2, 1. Go. Hello, everybody. We are back with this game 3. We are going to be having Ragnarok Hell on the red side, and we're going to be having PSA on the blue side. Soda sitting here might be walking out. They're kind of going for just a standard 5-point. They're stacked all in this brush. Soda might go for a cheeky ward in this pixel brush, which would spell his instant demise, but is not going to be walking up any further.
Yeah, no early pickup here. Just staying.
Oh,
Have I
oh.
misspoken here?
They get the word. They're going after Soda. That's going to be
That's a
flash
flash.
instantly away from Soda.
There is a Hex Flash here, so it's not quite as punishing, but still, a flash for no sums is quite nice as well. No one has the Spell Thief, so no advantage there. But if you have a Mana Flow ban at all, that is quite nice getting that stacked earlier on here. I do think, I know we're talking about summoner spells here and runestones here, but Scorchclaw Pup was taken as well by Windu.
Yeah, Scorchclaw, I think, is starting to gain like a little bit of notoriety in the sense that you can cram out a lot of damage. I mean, Xin Zhao has a fair bit of move speed in kit, so you don't need to go so much Gust Walker. You kind of can get away from some of the tenacity, and you get some of the slows with Xin Zhao, and he's just able to just crank out a lot of these autos, which is pretty good for him in general. So Scorchclaw, obviously the least picked jungle item starting out, but still can find a fair bit of value.
Speaking of value, look at those value trades. Both top laners already at half health here. Fu getting quite early on. Oh, Counter-Strike, though.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's going to be forcing a flash out. That's not going to be a kill, though. Yeah, that was... you needed to flash a little bit further. He kind of short flash that, if anything.
Oh, well. This wave will be cramming under. It's going to force out a teleport here. Hopefully he gets the reset that he needs as well. No first blood yet, though. That is that TP sitting here.
He did pick up a refill pot. That's going to be some damage coming in from Bobby, but now these minions are going to turn and start slapping you. You have no flash. Bobby is going to be missing the Q. Now you're going to be taking a lot of this minion damage. You have the dragon coming through, the Astral Glide getting over the wall. Egg is now chasing after Bobby. They do see the vision. Jedi coming in from downtown. That's going to be first blood going over to the Astral Dragon.
Hey, good rotation. And we talked about how this laner can rotate here. The punishment coming from Jack the Ripper. They didn't do the rotation because they didn't have the jungle to come with them.
That's going to be a nice hook. There's going to be a respawn from Ice Queen. Going to be kind of stopping this play dead in their tracks, but Shodoroki's going to be taking a little bit of minions. But now Jack going to get kind of caught out by Jedi through the Ignite coming down. Jedi getting quite low, having to flash away from this play. Now it's going to be Beg coming after Jedi. Jedi could be in trouble, but Egg trying to secure this damage. Is Jack going to be going down? Is going to be living with a sliver of health. Beg going to be coming back to help his teammate.
31 in total. But the push there coming out of Ripper was able to try and get some farm and get in a lead. There, didn't quite work out as much as they would want here, as the movement speed coming out of Egg. Super nice, getting those extra stacks there as well. Very important. TP advantage still on the top side, backing for that call, trying to just scale. As you are the Grandmaster at arms, you really need that money for a better weapon.
Yeah. And he's going to be able to further kind of sustain in this lane. He has a call. So you have a little bit of Omnivamp, obviously, with the Doran's Blade, but then you'll get the 3 health every auto attack with the call. Mm-hmm. So you'll be able to kind of still sustain a fair bit of this poke coming out from Mordekaiser. But now there's going to be a lot of dodge procs for the Counter-Strike. Going to be putting in a lot of damage, but that's going to be a nice... And is that going to be enough? They will be getting the kill. He will be dying, but they'll be able to shove that wave. He has no TP. That's going to be a lot missed out by Mordekaiser.
Yeah, and Villanera still has a TP here or there. I was making the Hungry Box Pog face after that. Of course, still ended up dying there, but still quite exciting to watch here. You know, you're going to get the money's worth out of this. Of course, didn't pay, but still getting your money's worth.
So this time, just a very volatile top lane. But Bobby already kind of faring better than he has in past games. So I think Mordekaiser has definitely really been a good pickup for him. But now we are going to be seeing the first dragon of the game. It's going to be Hextech going over to the side of PSA.
Yeah, they have enough champions here to get a lot of this damage here. Just trying to get the rotations.
Oh, they are going to get collapsed on. It's going to be a 4v4. That's going to be Soda coming in immediately. That's going to be a triple knockup. Bag getting quite low. Is he going to get picked up? He's not. Okay,
Jack.
there it is. Going down. That's going to be trading jungler for jungler, but another kill for the Space Dragon.
I don't think this play is quite over here. We're seeing Egg sit around here as well, trying to get the benefits here, get some extra minions with the singularity and catch this wave push.
All right, that's going to be Soda coming in with the auto attack. Shodaroki down to half health. Jack half as well. Egg getting quite low themselves.
Oh!
Going to be hooked. That dredge line finding that pickup. Shodaroki is quite low on mana, but you have Jedi who's here now.
Yeah, just getting hit by that CC, not going to be great. Of course, the minion waves were preventing some of this damage coming out of Shodaroki, but still, the follow-ups here happening.
Nice job forcing out that
Yeah.
flash.
That was so well played, forcing out that flash, but with both sides being out of mana and the wave being the way it is, Shodaroki is going to have a nice back here. And they are sitting at a nice amount of gold here, getting that pickaxe boots, Noon's Quiver, double pots, and the extra red ward, the pink ward there, the control ward. Going to be quite nice for them. Jello doesn't have a back yet, so that's not good. They're going to be a little bit delayed. They got the crash, which is excellent. Trying to stay up in this farm, it's very important.
Also in the top side of the map, which a nice pickup from Villain against Bobby. Even he was able to kind of push the level advantage, being able to kill Mordekaiser.
Yeah, up 2 levels. This is such a big deal for him. Double Dagger, trying to get a lot of these auto attacks under control, is going to be good news for them as well. Oh, Jack. There's a support over. Oh,
whoa,
no!
That's going to be Flash coming in from Ice Queen. A bit adventurous going for that Flash, especially into the smoke screen, but unable to find that pickup. If it went through, wow, what a play. But that's a... I don't even know if that's a coin flip. That feels like a 30-70, and coin flip is a 50-50, so... But Jack is now going to be the first one to rotate over. Jedi could be in trouble, is caught between a rock and a hard place, but you do have Rakan to come help a teammate. That's going to be ultimate coming through. And Falling Star was able to get the stun. Will they be able to get the pickup? I think that Jack is going to be getting out of this play. Bobby wants to rotate down to it, but he will possibly get pinched by Villain. He's going to have to walk away from this, and this is going to be pretty free rift going over to the side of Hell.
Yeah, and Hell doesn't necessarily need a kill here. Getting the Rift is a huge deal with the enemy jungler Fu. Being Belveth, they get a lot of benefits out of this, and this early Rift can also help push some of the leads that they have. Possibly get Villain Era an earlier Bork, or maybe we'll get a Windu, his early Mythic.
Uh-oh. That's going to be a very nice buffer through Soda finding that window, and that's going to be Ignite used onto Jello, and Shodaroki's going to be getting the kill in the bot lane.
Yeah, 2-0, as Kai says, exactly where you want to be going, so well played Shodaroki. And they still have their ultimate and cleanse here as well, so they are ready for more fights here. Of course, Ignite's going to be down, but you have some money to pick up for that. Oh, the cleanse.
Ooh, that's going to be
down,
TB and Jello back into this lane. That's going to be Soda finding just all of these grabs over and over. The quickness coming through, getting these charms. They are getting poked out quite a bit. Shodaroki is low on mana. Minions. Oh, no. You do have Fu coming in here to help out this play if they are really looking to dive for it. But Jedi is coming down through the lane. Going to be forcing this off. We do have Dragon coming up.
Yeah, Villainaire is trying to do something cheeky up here as well.
Uh-oh.
The flash.
Bobby's probably dead. Yeah. Interesting flash, but hey, it works.
You miss 100% of the flashes you don't take.
Fair enough. I'm about to go into practice tool, turn off cooldowns, and just continuously flash over and over, just to make sure that the flashes are flashed.
Yep. Just don't do it in public.
Yes, yeah. Wait, turn off all cooldowns in public?
No.
Right.
Flash. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. This
Oh.
dragon coming up. Oh, it hits.
That's gonna be a nice grab onto Jack. That's gonna be Astral Glide away. That's not gonna be enough. That's gonna be Ignite picking that up. This is a really good play going for them. Jedi trying to do as much as he can. Has the ultimate active. That's gonna be a nice dodge coming in from Bag. That's Todoroki coming in from the backside. Jello's getting picked up. It is now a 1v3. No ultimate. Soda is just getting these hooks left, right, and center. Going to be locking them down. This is going to be a Counter-Strike attempt, but going to be missed. Is going to be still getting this pickup. Villain in trouble. Counter-Strike will be up. Dredgeline is going to be finding it. It doesn't matter. Wow. Soda really, really just coming into their own this game. Honestly, this set, they've been doing a great job, but on these hook champs is really very comfortable.
Yeah, lollipop. Ooh, baby, lollipop. Getting that hook into Yeah, exactly. You don't want the shutdown onto your support, but getting it quite nice here. We get the jungler here, Fu, so no dragon has been taken yet for them, pushing them to their second dragon so we can figure out what soul point's going to look like. But stopping Villain Era from getting too large is important, and them not getting all that farm to the top second is also important.
Uh-oh, Egg is going to be obviously in a little bit of trouble. Every single time Egg ever commits to the... Ooh, that's going to be Fallen Star. They get the pickup there. That's going to be a very big kill for them. Bobby's in trouble. That's going to be Death Realm used. Jedi is just going to be kind of timing this out.
Oh, the
going to be using the ultimate to push him away. He's going to be coming out here shortly. Yep, Jedi's going to be getting the pickup. That's nice that you stole my stats. What if I just wasted enough time and now they're going to be dropping Shelly into the mid lane?
Yeah, just pushing them away there. Excellently played. Good use of abilities here. Getting this Rift here out. Of course, they're splitting it amongst 3 people. It will force out this teleport here. Fu's going to do this collapse here. Are they going to get caught out, Verdant?
Ooh, we'll get caught out. Oh, wow! I thought Jack had the free pick. I thought Jack had the free pickup.
Yeah, I was expecting a Collie thing.
Now that's just.
But that's Kaisa things. Oh gosh.
Yeah.
ISO Q. It does that. They should be very, very close to the evolve. Their first one. You need an extra 100 damage in total, not including your runes, because of course. But once they end up getting a pickaxe or serrated dirk, that should be enough here. And they might need a level or 2 as well, but that'll be more damage with them. It'll be 12 bullets instead of 12, or I should say missiles.
Yeah, right now we are seeing a massive bot lane advantage going over to PSA.
Mm-hmm.
As we've kind of seen all, like, for the majority of this set, but Royal Egg is not fragging out as hard as they have in past games, but is still going to be very steady considering that they're kind of in they're countered in lane, but still ahead on CS is still very prevalent in this game and will just be a monster in the mid to late.
And has a better vision score.
Yeah, and I probably had more roams this game, which I think is quite important.
Oh, Villain Era though.
Yeah. Uh-oh. We might be overstaying here, but that's going to be nice Counter-Strike coming through. She has the E. She will survive for a while. Fu, are they able to get this pickup? Astral Glide coming through. Now, Jack.
Oh, no.
Against these 2 low-health targets. Egg going to be going for the flyaway. Channel coming through. That's going to be missed.
Oh.
Counter-Strike. Yeah, that's just free pickups for Jack.
If that Counter-Strike would have landed, it would have been a 1-for-1, but that is not going to be the case here.
Yeah.
As we're going to see a Jack the Ripper cutting through both people here. Doesn't need the home territory of England here. They just need to be on Summoner's Rift to get that double kill. The hook!
Soda finding these over and over. Let's say in the earlier set, like in game 1, it was Ice Queen getting caught out on a lot of these. This time it has been Jello caught by damn near every hook. But Jedi gonna be forcing a flash out of Soda over the fat wall. They're unable to find anything further.
I think it's a little bit on purpose to try and get the pushback immediately and try and buffer it, but I think Soda has adjusted his game plan, making it less viable.
He's going to get grabbed here. That's a push away. Going to be still dashing through. Bag's going to be forcing a flash out of Jello. Soda is quite low.
Yeah, Jello still has their ultimate here, so they can try and get that there. Bobby is a little bit exposed. Still Death Realm. Oh, you can see the little skulls on the
Wait.
map.
He pulled him further into him. Oh, no. Well, that's
Yeah.
just another kill onto Bobby in this game.
Bobby.
Yeah.
Yeah, it happens to the best of us. We all have these games.
Yep.
Sky's Descent is unlocked, I believe, as well. So Royal Egg is going to have some good setup here. Potential fight for this Rift Herald with the Scuttle Crab being unlocked, taken by Hell. It's getting dragged into the underworld. And if they're able to get the second Rift Herald, that's pretty good news for them. As, you know, like we said before, they really want these Rift Heralds because of how Belveth's kit operates as a whole. That being said, only a 2K gold difference here. Still anyone's game.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that this game is going much better for PSA altogether. They're able to, like, you effectively already know that Bobby was going to lose, and he's still kind of losing by effectively the same margins that you've had in the like in game 1. So, I mean, he went 2-6 for that. I mean, 1-7, not too far, not too far off,
And only down one kill or one level, despite dying 7 times.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just like it's still going to be prevalent. Mordekaiser could still point and click an enemy champion, and like kind of take that out of the fight. So
it's still about strategy.
Yeah, and then you're effectively just shifting that over like to the bot side of your map can be a lot more effective. And I mean, you have Jack the Ripper putting in absolute work. You have the 4-0 Kaisa at this 18-minute mark. He's almost done with the second item, so she is quite massive.
Yeah, and the Q should be evolved as well right now. Oh no!
Jack going in all in for it, and Jack living up to the name, ripping her apart. Jedi shoving them away with the ultimate, but he's going to be chunked down to half health, and I think this is going to be a free objective for the side of PSA.
You can tell it's not the first time they've had to do that combo before. It was pretty clean as they were able to chunk through. Jello getting caught out. Once again, 13v13. Everyone's most favorite lucky number right now. Still, the gold favoring. Oh no, Bobby. Sweet Bobby child.
Yeah. Bobby is now worth a caster minion.
Yeah. This tower, though, not worth it.
Yeah, I was say this tower is worth the 600 local gold, but Bobby is, a caster minion.
Things will be a little bit different once this Divine Cinders. Oh, that's a little dangerous.
Oh, that stun almost went off, but Jack potentially in trouble. Grandmaster in arms used. Gonna be playing away from this. Gonna be still full diving into this. Jack, a little too ambitious, is gonna be going down that. That is gonna be shut down. Going over to Rakan. Bagfu in trouble. Gonna be getting the last dash away. That's gonna be forcing out a flash. Now we have Drake and Baron coming up. We'll see what objective they want to focus.
Yeah, Soul isn't happening anytime soon. It's 20 minutes in, or nearly 20 minutes, and there's 2 dragons been taken in total, 1 by each team here. It's Windrake, so not the strongest one. There are slows in the game, so the slow reduction will be quite nice, and getting a little closer to these lanes is going to be nice, especially if you're the team with a lead, as you have further to walk to catch some of these waves.
It's not Windrake. It's a different one.
It's not. Oh, yeah. It's Chemtech. It's Chemtech because it's bugged. Yeah. Thanks for the reminder. It happens to the best of us.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm like, first one was Hextech.
The healing and shielding, though, it's pretty good for both.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's much more effective on the side of Hell. But honestly, like,
I don't know. Soda really likes it. Fu really likes it, and Bobby really likes it. Although Bobby's so low, it probably doesn't.
Well, okay, you can make the argument that anyone likes it, like in the grand scheme of things. But it's gonna be Villain just going down right before this objective. We'll be dropping the Shelly into this bot lane. Wanted to escort it, but in the meantime, they're gonna be trading all of this pressure to just kill a Baron.
Yeah.
At 20-minute mark, it hasn't really built up resistances with time, so are just going to be ripping it apart. Now they're going to be trading, attempting to trade for Dragon on the bot side, but this,
TP.
that Farsight is going to be forcing them off of that, and that's going to be TP coming in from Jack. Does Jack commit? All right, no, we are going to be seeing him go for a full dive yet. But right now, we are going to be trying to posture for it. We have Shotoruki on the
Bill Air.
sideline by themselves.
The TP. So Bobby's going to get a free split.
Era coming in from behind. That's going to be Sky's Descend coming through. Mega damage, massive shutdown onto Shotoruki on the sideline. That's too much. You can't fight in that singularity. And that is going to be some tasty Starlight. And you know what? Bobby can shove to his heart's content. Has effectively no AP in kit. Has no attack speed. Has nothing to help with that tower damage.
Plated steel caps is also not going to help against a cosmic dragon vomiting on stars towards you. So,
yeah,
so well played here. And they didn't lose any Baron buff. Of course, they lost some of the time there, but they got so many kills here, they're going to be able to push things out and get more value out of it. Well, we were talking about a 2,000 gold difference roughly, and then the Baron happened, and that fight happened, and it's 9,000. It's pushing 9,000, I should say. It's closer to 8,700 or something like that. I'm on stream. I can't do math.
It's okay. It's all good. But yeah, this game is really just starting to slowly but surely just look like it's going to be out of the reach of PSA.
Yeah, 8,200. I finally did the math.
Quick maths.
Quick maths. Okay, so we've got all of this pressure happening here. The top lane, it's going to be a lot harder to push because how far it is. Means mid, bot side going to be so much more important here as the lane is shorter.
Right now, it's going to be Jedi getting this initial knockup. Going to be Singularity over the wall. Jello's going to be getting the first pickup. Soda going down. Jack going to be dashing on out of there. It looks like Fu is going to be going down after this E is done. Jedi getting that pickup as well is unstoppable. That's 3 dead on the side of PSA. You have Shotoruki. You have Jack. Your 2 carries. Will they be able to do it?
Yeah, it's not been an ace here, but
Jedi will give up their life for it. But now Shotoruki will be getting the dragon as well. Gonna get 2 shutdowns. That's gonna be Villain diving into onto this ultimate use. That's gonna be a triple kill going over to Kaisa, getting a fat chunk of gold. Left, right, and center, getting a few of these shutdowns. But you still have Ice and Jello shoving in. You now have the people respawning on PSA. They're gonna have to be careful.
No Baron buff here at all. I'm not sure if Inhib is worth 3 people's lives at this stage in the game and giving Shotoruki a big shutdown worth of gold. Not the play, but on the other side, they were able to get it here, so they're going to have permanent priority into the mid lane, which is going to help them push out some of these other lanes and create pressure throughout the game and force some responses there as well. Some more resources will have to be committed there should they want to be able to stay alive, as there's 3 teleports that are down, but this inhib is going to be down for long enough to where a teleport can happen later.
Yeah. So is there, like, I definitely understand wanting to put Bobby in a side lane to shove because effectively not worth much. And so you can kind of keep just matching some of this, but I think you really need to be heads up on these TP plays to go help your team to be able to use the Death Realm effectively. Because at this point, you are just an R-bot. Like, that's what you've been for the set, and that's what you need to be there for.
Fu getting caught out here.
Yeah.
Shield Bow stopped a lot of damage, has not stopped a lot of deaths.
Yeah, that's going to be Villain Era, going to be going in for the stun on Shotoruki. Going to be instantly cleansing that, trying to dash away, get away from all of this. Shotoruki will be getting a pickup and a kill pickup before they go down, but that's going to be Jedi getting this triple here shortly.
Yeah, yep. Jedi getting the triple there. That Death Realm, I think, was open the whole time, but they didn't add it till the very end versus Windu, which I don't think was the play. They needed to delay some of the damage, use the number
Yeah.
advantage they had to try and get that. And because 3 people are down, this inhib is going to fall. Bot side is going to be pushed, and there's going to be a lot of damage to this tower. Fu's going to have a hard time saving this as well. Todoroki has been playing this quite well, but it's been a lot harder with top and jungle being behind at this stage. The dive succeeding. Will this tower fall, Verdant? Will it fall? Only time can tell. Only time can tell.
Yeah, we don't have to wait long.
No.
It goes down. That's gonna be Sky's Sun coming
Oh!
through. Boom! Coming through. That's way too much damage. Coming in from the Space Dragon. Singularity to use. Can we get that tower? There we go. We're still just vomiting stars all over everyone. And Todoroki is gonna be diving into them. Gonna be not. I thought that was close on egg, but
quite quickly.
got the shutdown. But now it is the 210 Bobby. He will get a shutdown on the dragon. Ice Queen might not be able to do enough. Yeah, gonna be going down. Will they be stopping the minions? Looking like they will.
The game's been delayed. The game's been delayed. It's not over quite yet. It's going to be very hard to come back from this at this point, but there's always a chance here with the death timers being longer and longer. Though with 0 towers being taken, that's not looking quite good. Them getting this many kills, though, is nice, despite being down 10,000 gold at this stage in the game. They don't have to risk for Elder to be coming up or for Soul to be coming up here, but it is Soul point 28-ish minutes into the game here. So this will probably be going over to hell, as they won't have the resources or smite to stop it, as it has to stop this mid-wave push. A lot of teleports still online here, boys, and Royal Eggs.
So is just gonna be using the flash to go in.
Try to steal it. Try to steal it.
Yeah.
We can't all be Giga Chads.
Yeah, I guess so. That's just gonna be Jedi going against this 1v3. Will he be coming out of this alive? Will not be. Bag gonna be picking up that kill, but Villain just coming in from downtown and just easily getting that kill. Jack.
Oh,
Now-
trying to go for the flash
Ugh.
play again. Not quite fine.
Yeah, that okay, that's game.
Yeah, that it's not. You can't defend it, boy. It's too difficult.
Todoroki just can't even like really
The
effectively.
damage
handle
gets split
Villain.
if they stand up together. So
Yeah,
and they started with W. That's nope.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah,
game
that is a good
here.
reverse sweep going over to Ragnarok, doing a
Yeah,
really good job
Ragnarok.
of just adjusting.
I know I doubted Ragnarok a little bit in games 2 and 3 here, but they did play these sets out quite well and were able to utilize their mid, jungle, and top side here for the win. Yeah, who do you think the MVP was here, Verdant?
Ooh, I think okay. MVP would probably have to. Part of me is okay. Jedi was just Jedi had a little bit of trouble in game 1, but then was like pretty consistent otherwise. Egg was just fairly dominant throughout the entire series.
I see Baby Voodoo thinking it was Villain era as MVP, and part
Villain
of it,
era
I
only
do
played-
agree. They were able to get a lot of pushes, but and they were able to utilize the advantages that they had. But on the flip side, Royal Egg also had a lot of Rome's top side, as well as Jedi was able to push it up as well, which is really helpful for him as well. But they did get a lot of value, and we did see Era roam a lot. Like there's like TP's bot and roamed mid once he was ahead and transitioned his lead so successfully. I think I would actually agree that Era would be the successor here. Royal Egg, though, I think is another good follow up for a contestant there.
My argument for Royal Egg over Villain is that you had like Villain joined game 2, so like we only saw 2 games of Villain, and like even when the chips were really under for like Ragnarok, just having the comp that they did in game 1 and like how that all really played out. Royal Egg still did fine, even though didn't receive like a lot of ganks, just constantly like beat laner, then drew a lot of like opponents, but then since they kind of lost out on a lot of other aspects of the game, was just unable to really just solo carry as the Fiora.
Yeah, but they were the adhesive game 1. They were the adhesive
Yeah,
for
okay,
that game
yeah,
surviving. Like, they
but
had a 3,004, a
but
3,000.
but to clarify, I think Villain did a great job. I think in some ways did feed like some kills, but at that point they were just in the later portions of that game was really just diving into the back line, just getting that guaranteed CC off, and then that really just set up the rest of the squad to just go in and wreak havoc.
Yeah. The other side of this question, though, is who's the ace, the most valuable player on the losing side here? And I don't think there's a question as to who this was. Only one player performed consistently with a big lead here, and that also has to go to like the Kaisa Shokoroki was, I think, was the ace for this.
Okay,
set.
okay. Shotoroki, yeah, I think it goes that, but I think the honorable mention is Jack the Ripper.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, was kind of pigeonholed into some of these like tech picks in like game 1, game 2, and did fairly decent on those. Okay, actually, game 2 kind of got a little bit smacked by the Casio, but this did have the counter picks for actually all of the games had counter picks. So I think like Jack did like some decent things. Did get effectively beaten out by Royal Egg at the end of the day.
Yeah. The
But
hooks though were
I
super
think
sweet.
I do have to agree with Shotoroki. I think also another honorable mention goes over to Soda. Soda was doing
Oh
a
yeah,
great
Soda was so good.
I'm like I'm like Soda was doing a really good job. Like okay, actually I changed my mind. Number 1, Shotoroki. Number 2, Soda.
Yep.
Like
Yep.
that's a close second, and then like Jack is like a definite drop down.
And although they were a good success for game 1, so it was right that early hook, they were able to land up in follow ups with their team and all the blitz hooks. But the thing was, their vision game 2 and game 3 wasn't quite as high as the other support, and I think that's what's really holding it back from the NPV slot.
So right now we are gonna get the captain from Ragnarok Hell to do an interview with us. If you guys want, you can submit some questions in the chat to have us ask the captain for them.
Yeah, I'll be making sure to watch the chat for you. So, chat, if you have any questions, any league-based questions for 5v5 competitive, ask away. I will try and ask them for you.
All right.
All right. So, while we're waiting for this to get set up, though, it'll be quite a moment.
I sent it over.
Well, this is all getting set up here. All right. So Shoku2323, I want to know what the adjustment was after the first game.
Okay.
Okay, that's what we have. Oh my gosh, someone said Shotoroki. I think I'm in love with you. Okay, tell us more about your coach, Jello. Okay. And then there's another question asking about what they thought about the game 2 draft. So those will probably be one of our earlier things. Thank you, TCF Echo. And I guess Shoko.
Well.
Are they able to join the link? I know. I see 4 people in here right now.
All right. Hello? Jello, you there? All right.
I see a chat.
There we go.
Hello.
I think we hear you now, Jello.
Okay.
Yes. You are a little bit quiet. Or is there any way to turn you up?
I can turn them up, I think.
I don't know. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
So I had some questions from chat. Is what did you think about Game 2 draft?
Like, was it
If I-
good? We were.
Like
We went-
like
Oh, sorry.
what was it? What was in your mindset of coming in with that with the Syndra like switch up?
We wanted tank shred. So we were going to. We were like, okay, we could pick Syndra first because it's a flex pick between me and Egg, and then we were like, well, if we do that mid lane, we could do Cassiopeia, and then if we pick Syndra first, they don't know who we're gonna pick for mid.
Yeah.
So it's because I play Syndra, and it's a relatively safe. I could play it bot lane and wave clear because of how the AD carry on Premier plays.
Gotcha.
Mhm.
So why pair the Rakan with the Syndra for this particular matchup? Did you just want that for the roam potential and with for the quickness ultimate, or what was the mindset on that?
So our support doesn't like most engages, but it works out because he can also peel for the AD carry. Like, with the engage, he can do a quick engage and get out. So if it's a bad one, we can just pull out. Basically, it was to play with someone walking into us.
Gotcha. Okay. With that in mind, was there any? Obviously with Syndra, you aren't gonna. This wouldn't be as useful. Was there any consideration for like what was it, Renata Glask? If you're considering them playing into you, or Nami at all, or not really?
Renata would have been the other option if we didn't get the Rakan, but Rakan just seemed better for the Wombo that they were building.
Yeah.
Because most of their comp at that point was AP based, and so Renata's ult wouldn't be as good into the Amumu Galio combo.
All right. So was it?
Oh, wow.
All right. Just for consideration of your kind of team altogether, who is your official top laner? Who's your official mid laner?
Okay, our official top laner was Villain Era, and
Okay.
our official mid laner is the Royal Egg. We
Gotcha.
had some last minute, hey, I'm not showing up, so we mixed around to make it work.
Gotcha. Okay, and I'm like, yeah, I wasn't too certain because I'm like the message I got was that Jedi was the sub, and I'm like I thought that was your regular jungler.
No, our regular jungle is Captain Snoopy, and he was not able to make it for the first
Gotcha.
2 games, and then the last game he was like, nah, Jedi was here.
Yeah.
Fair enough. I mean, it worked out pretty well. I think that Jedi did. What was that kind of a seamless transition having him in as your jungler?
Oh yeah, some of us have played together before. He's from the same org.
Yeah.
So it worked out well.
He plays for Heimdall, Loki. Which one?
I don't remember. I think it might be Skull. No, it's not Skull. It's Fenrir.
Okay.
Right.
I'm like I admit it. Like we've casted a lot of these games, so I'm like I can't remember. Like I recognize names now at this point, but it's hard to keep track of which one.
And we've also played against Ragnarok when we played in Style Esports as well.
Yeah. Back
Yeah,
in the old times when you didn't have the god names.
Well, that's how I got yoinked into Ragnarok too. So we played against him. I was like, you guys are fun.
Fair enough. Also, Captain Snoopy just wants to call out, and so we now have to ask for the audience. Is Snoopy sexy, or are the rumors true, or are these false rumors?
That's debatable. We'll just leave
It's
it
debatable. Okay. So, contrary to popular belief, it's kind of tentative if Snoopy is sexy. You've heard it here, ladies and gentlemen.
An acquired taste, if you will.
An acquired taste. Okay. So it doesn't sit well with most, but
Okay,
once you get to know him,
just tell them apples, and then he'll understand.
all right.
I see the crying emoji in here. Really like saying the correct answer is yes. Oh. FF.
Yeah. Oh, geez. So, with all of this in mind, so are you going to be using kind of the Syndra flex pick for future drafts, like coming into playoffs? I mean, seeing as we're almost at the end of the season 15 regulation, are you going to be using that going forward, or do you want to just keep with like a more traditional bot lane?
Maybe the Syndra and Veigar APC are kind of like pocket picks if we need them and like draft calls for them to open up like AD elsewhere on the map, like if we want a Kindred jungle or something.
Okay. Are you still fine with Veigar as that APC despite the nerfs to the duo lane experience?
Yeah, I
Okay.
like Veigar.
It's also going to be a lot harder, like, to judge in the future with how all the mythics are changing. AD carries can be very different.
Yeah, like some of the AD carries that are really good right now with the AD scaling are going to drop off, and the ones with the AP scaling are going to go higher, like Kaisa will be broken.
Yeah, Kai'Sa will probably be pretty strong. I imagine like Jin and Caitlyn maybe not doing cool white as well, but I'll have to play it out first.
Yeah, so we'll have to see, because like Jinx has no AP scaling except for her traps, so I have no idea.
Does it have any on Super Mega Death Rocket?
Nope.
No.
It's
No.
AD and then percent missing health.
And
The
this-
max damage at Zapper max range.
Gotcha. So, and obviously we saw the continued kind of rock solid bans all throughout the set. The kind of only two variations being you went from Leona over to Blitzcrank, and then you had the Asol going over to the Cho'Gath. How come you wanted to really just stick with like the Xayah Varus like in the first rotation?
Because when I was scouting them, his eye is really strong, and we were like, okay, so I'm a really bad AD carry. Let's ban the Xayah. Good plan.
All right, fair enough. I didn't know if it was for that or like the Feather Storm being quite scary, but it was just
It was
this man's
just he's his best champ.
okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. And then Varus was close second of being
As
scary.
far as was close second, and his ult would kind of interfere with a lot of what we tend to do. Like those messy skirmishes in River would have been a whole lot worse with Varus ult.
Gotcha. So game one, obviously they had the Ornn. Were you like okay? Obviously your top laner, your top laners with like for Egg in game one, but then with Villain in game 2 and 3, they obviously were steadily beating Bobby. For lack of better terms, I don't want to kick a man while he's down, but they're just beating Bobby.
Yeah.
So how come the Ornn ban?
Oh well,
just wanted to take the ornaments off the table.
The Ornn first game, and take it from him because he plays Ornn, and then the Ornn passive with him being able to build the items, made Kaisa or the AD carry way more scary. So you're like, let's not give him that passive thing, and then we just didn't have anybody else better to ban, so we banned Cho'Gath.
Fair enough. Yeah, Cho'Gath definitely really adds into that scaling component. It has been a very steady, strong pick in the top lane, so never a bad one to take out. So, Abba, do you have any further questions at all?
I think you've answered a lot of the main ones. I think the only other question I think is how do you think the upcoming patches are going to affect your strategies with all the mythics and everything else
That's a very good point.
It really depends on because that's mostly changes to the bot lane that are the big ones. It really depends on how it like affects the champions. I'll have to play it a lot to see how it feels. Probably do some research on what works and what doesn't. But in general, since I tend to play off meta stuff anyway, I don't know how much it'll affect anyway. We'll just kind of adapt to it as it comes.
Fair enough. Fair enough. And probably with this patch, they'll change the jungle yet again, and we will all have to relearn our camp clearing.
I'm not a jungler anymore.
Yeah. Oh. I'm honestly happy to just move off of that and go to casting because now I don't have to read all of that stuff.
I remember the
Right.
days when smiting different camps got you different results.
I just miss the being able to double camp. I was like, all the skill
Oh, yeah.
expression
Yeah.
came out of the jungle pathing when they removed that because it doesn't matter anymore. It's just, oh, perma farm, gank, perma farm. Cool. Timing doesn't matter anymore.
The homie's dead and gone. Dead and gone. But congratulations on the win tonight. Good luck for the upcoming playoffs. Thank you very much for joining us here on the panel. Thank you thank you to everyone in the chat for being. Honestly, this is probably up there for one of the more active chats we've ever had. So thank you
Yeah.
very much, everyone, for making this quite fun. But
Awesome.
I'm Burnt Chaos, and I'm joined by Abbatrombone tonight. And thank you very much, everyone. Have a good rest of your night.
Good games.
Good night.
All right. Cold? Or are we cold?
Yeah, we should be cold.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, for hang up, you just press the
Okay.
red hang up.
I'm just making sure it's okay to hang up. I was like,
Yeah, you're all good. You're all good. Have a
Thanks
good
for
rest of your
doing
night. Did I do fine for an interview?
I did fine.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna mute and all right, just get out of Video Ninja.